Hears, it is with a note of apology in its hand and has trouble speaking its name.
True.
Well, we need more than that on the insect. So I wanted to ask if you wanted. I was extremely struck by these observations. Talk to you about them. Talk to you about them. So,
good day.
And I have a little bit more.
Good day, family.
I want to hear if you want to comment on these.
I was listening to a little, getting started with some Toni Morrison.
I explored it as carefully as I did for the Ingersoll.
And this right here is an hour and 50 minutes.
By
Toni Morrison on language, evil, and the white gaze. And this was 11 years ago, but I already know it's relevant for today. I already know. But good day, family. It's so good to see you all. I hope everyone had a wonderful day today and kept a song in our heart. I hope we kept a song in our heart. I think I sung like 7 songs today. You know, it was just, it gets kind of daunting, being in the midst of everything, knowing what all's going on. And, just trying to keep my focus on us, on my people, Because every day it's going to always be something else. It truly is. And we can't let that stop us. We can't take our eyes off of us. Not for long. No, if you do glance away, you better be ready to look back. Because, when we take our focus off of us, that's where we really mess up. It takes us forever to actually get our focus, our energy, our gaze back on ourselves. And I know everybody out there urging us to come save the world. Come save the world. But what we got to save us. We got to save us now. Those of us that do decide to go out there and stuff, and help put out the fire in America. I just hope you really consider getting your family, your people out the fire. It's a personal decision. Everybody got to make. It's a personal decision. And I know we so traumatized we can't even think for ourselves. We can't see the magnitude of us. We can't see the manipulation that's been done to us, So, we got work to do. We still got work to do. Our people still, our masses still need to be steered by us. We still got to steer our masses instead of letting others steer our people. Man. But hey, it's us though. We got the power. We can do it. We can do it. I didn't know nothing about the chosen ones. Or the ones. Yep. But it's certain ones that will speak up for our people. I guess that's what it means. Those of us that will speak up for our people. And everybody been saying that we've been knowing for a long time. You either stand for something or you'll fall for anything. It just can't be no fear. And we just can't have no fear about doing it. I mean, it's either us or our future generations. It's either us or our future generations. And we would be some damn cowards if we just let this roll on and let our people end up however we're going to end up. That's like, literally letting our babies end up in whatever's going to happen. And I can't do it. I know a lot of us feel like, hey, it's, it's going to be what it's going to be, face. But I can't just sleep at night. I can't sleep at night knowing, how worse it could get. Because I be thinking, I know. I'm very graphic with my thoughts and stuff about my people. And I see why. Now I see why. Because if I didn't have the mind that I do have, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to read this and know, what I do know about it. And still try to keep my sanity myself. I sure wouldn't, honey. I'd be freaking the fuck out here. Sure would. Yeah. But it's the lesson. It's the lesson that we all gotta learn. And this is mine right here. So I'm ready for it. I can do it. Yeah, it is what it is. And then George Fraser, I think it was George Fraser, said you do your most productive work in your life anyway when you like 50 to 60. It was a study. That was a study done on like tens of thousands of people. And I took some notes on it too, and it was showing, that most people from birth to 49 really don't accomplish the major accomplishments in life. But then at the age of 50 and 60, and then I think it was 60 and 70, and then 70 and 80, that's when you are liable and more prone to create your life contributions. Everybody gonna have a baby, and everybody gonna get married, and have your family and stuff, and get your degrees and stuff. But making the contributions to society to better the world, those things like that come after you have experienced a whole lot of life. So he was kind of like, up to 49, you just pretty much just learning life. And then, after that, that's when you take the test. That's when you make your big contribution to society, to the world. Yeah, so, everything works out for a reason and stuff. Is this it right here? Oh, yeah, this is it. Yep. And this right here was in Dr. George Fraser's, our brother. This was in his documentary, Power of the Human Connection. And the study came from the New England Journal of Medicine. And it was the first medical journal in the United States. Yeah, the New England Journal of Medicine was. And it's also one of the most prestigious and respected journals in the world. So what they publish is seen as fact. It's, yeah. And it said, it was tens of thousands of people in this study. And that's why I said it was massive. It was huge, a huge study. It was a longitudinal study because it went over time. That's what I think. It happened it was conducted over a long period of time. And it said the 3 most productive periods of your life. It's 50 to 60, and then 70 to 80, and 60 to 70. 50 to 60, 60 to 70, and 70 to 80 years old. Yeah. So a lot of us, we right on time. And then I wrote some of them down. Toni Morrison. Right here, Toni Morrison. She received a Pulitzer Prize at age 57. Mm-hmm. But she had contributions and awards and achievements before then. But that Pulitzer Prize, that's like the highest of the high. That's like the very, high. And then she also received the Nobel Prize at age 62. Frank Lloyd completed his masterpiece at age 91. I never even heard of him before, but it's magnum opus of Guggenheim Museum. And it's on 54th Street and 5th Avenue. But he had been working on it for a long time. But when he actually finished it, he was 91 years old. Then there was Gandhi. He secured India's independence at 61 years old. Yeah. Mandela became president at 76. The average Nobel Prize winner is 62. So see, when we go through things in life and stuff, and it seems like when we're older, we haven't accomplished anything. What's really happening is your lesson is over. The trials is over. Now it's time to take the test. That's kind of how he said it. It seemed like, usually you study and take the test, but it's kind of like reversed in life because you just live life. And then, you take the test and stuff and you come up with these wonderful contributions to society, to your people, So, yeah, because I was beginning to feel like, shoot, I'm over half of 100 now, and I haven't really accomplished anything, but none of that even matters. Because you got to live life before you actually make your impact on life. That's not to say that young people, can't make an impact. Just imagine when they get older, like Julian. Somebody told me his name. It wasn't Julian Brown. I think they said it was Julian Johnson or Jackson, the one that made the plastiline. Our young brother, he takes plastic. Plastic, y'all. I got me a bottle of water too. He take plastic and make gas out of it. Gasoline. Yep. And, imagine when he get like 50, 60 years old. Imagine what he's going to be creating then. because his mind is open, his creative genius is turned on. And that's what we got to do for the rest of our babies. We got to let their creative genius that's inside of them, we got to turn it on. And we can only do that by reading. We got to start reading to them. We got to start teaching our children what they need to know. You know, if we don't know it, find it. We got the internet right here, the age of information. Find it and put it on there. And it's almost easy because you know what your son and daughter like. You know what their interests are. You come home all the time and they watching something on I don't know, some network channel about fixing stuff, mechanical channel, engineering stuff, history stuff, astrology stuff, you know. So yeah, instead of just letting them do them, how about we just help them we encourage it. You know, we help them to grow it and build it and actually see what it is. Actually see what it is. Because a lot of times when our babies are just, you know, doodling and drawing and stuff like that, it's an idea that they're working on. But see, they haven't really expanded on it. And then a lot of times in life, you know, things happen and we tend to just go on without it. But those right there are the keys that our babies need. You know, it's crazy, you know, what's going on now. It really is. We got to be prepared for them. Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking about that plastiline. What will it be used for? Because, you know, now they got all this Tesla in the futuristic world and stuff. But for us, we'll still be able to utilize it. And Brother Moses, that his atmospheric water machine that pours water out of the atmosphere, they working together. Both of them are working together. It's on the internet. I seen a video of it. They working together. Mm-hmm. And see that right there, when we do come together and we start creating, that's why we ain't came together yet. Because when we do, we start creating. And we create contributions and inventions that's, you know, on another level. They are on another level because we're going into a new era. So see, the cosmos is giving these downloads all across the globe, not just here in America. This is just where I'm at, where I'm learning from. Because I didn't get the knowledge I needed, you know, before I quit school in 11th grade. They didn't have this knowledge that I need, that I feel like my people need. We done spent too much time in these schools, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, to come out not knowing nothing significant about us. Nothing significant about us. So, you know, yeah, I'm here about Black people, mostly. 99% of the time, I'm talking about Black people, my people. Because I see all of that wasn't just, you know, happenstance. No, it wasn't, you know, when I think about it, as soon as we stepped off, my ancestors stepped off them plantations, the chase was on. And now to look today, allegedly 2025, you know, and to look at it today and stuff, you know, it's like everybody getting some of this oppression. This is what everybody get for doing Black America like this. Right here in America, everybody finna motherfucking suffer. This is what they get for misusing Black America, misleading Black America, miseducating Black America. Everybody been in on it. You knew, them teachers and stuff, everybody knew that what you were doing wasn't right. You knew they had you teaching and just leading, stringing Black America along. That's why everybody getting it. Now mankind and humanity in danger. Sure wills. Right here, yep. All over the world. Because nobody ever stood up for Black people when other countries did. And that's other countries. Try to stand up for Black America. All Americans jumped in there. Get away from them. You can't send them nothing. They couldn't send us a financial gift. They couldn't give us citizenship in their countries because America wouldn't allow it. Wouldn't let us receive it. But they don't want to take care of us. They don't want to pay us because we can take care of ourselves. We have taken care of ourselves. No healing, no therapy, Even our churches ain't never band together to get us no therapy. Ain't that fucked up? And our churches, they know firsthand. They know firsthand how they used to be our sanctuary for our meetings and stuff. And white folks, Klansmen, would come up in there on their horses, kick the whole door off the hinges. If they could, they come crashing through windows and shit on them horses. That's how the chase was on. That's how the chase was. And our churches, they even forsaked us. Didn't even try to make sure we get some type of, our mass churches, them big ass churches. All kind of people in them churches. You know, they got some therapists in there, you know, some doctors, some acupuncturists and stuff, you know, some people to teach us how to breathe right and stuff to help us get some healing. Even our churches didn't even reach out and say, hey, my people, we need healing. But every Sunday and every Wednesday, Saturday, whenever they got you up in there, it's all about forgiving. Giving and forgiving. We set up in there and we giving and forgiving. Giving to them and forgiving to white folks. Damn this thing. So yeah, I want to know. I want to know why we ain't got no healing, because we need some. I want to know who did this. Could it be that our churches are even afraid to speak out against what's wrong with us? And who did it? Who's still doing it? Everybody afraid? Ain't that what y'all been learning this whole time, though? I mean, that's all I've been hearing my whole life and stuff, you know. Your higher power. You ain't got no fear with your higher power. Now everybody been so afraid to speak up for Black people. The greatest crime in this land that we ever seen right here. And won't nobody even stand up for it. Won't nobody, why? Because it's Black America. We so fucked up, we can't stand up for it. We don't know. We traumatized. We are literally traumatized. And surviving on our own. Surviving on our own. So yeah, we ain't even got to worry about nothing. Nope. We don't need the finances. We don't need the finances. They ain't gonna give it to us anyway. Them reparations. If they do, you better be looking out, because there's something to it. It's gonna be something to it. As long as we've been asking and stuff, it is the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. I mean, I still don't understand why everybody and their mama haven't stood up and said, hey, y'all gonna have to make it right by Black America. It's time for us to make it right by Black America. Every single body know that this debt must be paid to Black America. Everybody know that Black America going into this new world order with nothing. But see, everybody's so focused on everything else again. We can't never get no attention from nobody. You know, so yeah, I don't feel like we even need to be out there with folks and stuff. You know, we don't wish y'all no harm and stuff, but no, don't stand behind us. Don't run your ass over here and stand behind me, because ain't nobody ever tried to stand up for us. My people, all of this that we done went through, and this was after slavery. I'm appalled. Yeah. I am so appalled. This was after slavery. Red Summer was 1921. 1919. Red Summer, the summer of 1919, and the awakening of Black America. And then Tulsa was in 1921. Race riot of Tulsa. Yeah, our Black Wall Street. It took us almost overnight to me to build that Black Wall Street up, because we was together. See, once we get together, y'all, we can. You ever seen a spider web that is so extravagant, you think that more than one spider built that spider web? You just know it was a group of them came up here and built that spider web. It'd be so big, some of them be so thick because they use a different spinner, I guess. But that's how Black America is when we get together. Because we come from the cosmos. It ain't nothing ever been created, born, invented that matches the cosmos inventing. And you can't find nothing in this realm that matches a star. You can't find nothing in this realm that matches a rainbow, you know. But black people, when we create, see, we come so close to it. You gotta know. Hey, this way is cosmic, it's godly, it's pro-life. I mean, hell, look at everything else that you weighing it against. You could tell that that's anti-life. It ain't got no life to it. It ain't got no nurturing to it. Everything that we think is well. White folks done a number on us. They ain't told us about personal freedom, you know, because they know what it's gonna mean for us when we have that personal freedom. Because really, the only thing would matter is black people, us. But see, they can't teach us that, because if all of us are talking about us and trying to get healing for us, we ain't gonna be focused on that bullshit they got going on. Yep, that's why they don't think about us. George Fraser, brother said white folks said they don't think about us. That's because they don't have to now. They got so many arrows in us and stuff. Shit, they can pretty much just do whatever. Yeah, they just do whatever. Keep on making their plans and stuff. They ain't even got to hardly look over here at us. They just keep on writing bills, codes, laws, acts, compromises, sabotages, experiments, studies, courses, on us and stuff. Keep putting out shit on us. Everybody finna get some of it. It's I don't see how people even let this happen right here in America. Boy, the rest of the world must be laughing their ass off. Yeah, wondering what the hell is going on. Animals are mad as hell. Yeah, they can't wait to stand up and tell us how they feel. It's probably some standing up right now, because it's cosmic now. This is spiritual now. This is a spiritual war. It's been spiritual, but now we know that it's spiritual. And see, the cosmos had to get in and take over and stuff, because us being from the cosmos, we too fragmented and too traumatized. These people done really did a number on us. We I don't know what to say about this. I don't even know how we came back from this, how we still got our sanity from this. What little bit we got. The peripheral of us still got our mindset. We still got our strength. We still got our mentals. But the core of us, the masses of us, and it's possible because they don't know. We don't know. We don't know what to think, what to feel, what's going on. We don't know we need healing. We don't even know we need healing. I didn't even know we need healing. Hell, I thought we was all right. I did. Shit, I thought black folk was all right. And then when Trayvon Martin was killed and stuff, it was like, no, we is not all right. Because I went to the protest. And, with so many people there and stuff. And then after that, when I got home, that's when my timeline started, sinking in with things of that nature. And that's when I started writing. That's when I started writing everything down. That was in 2013, I think, something like that, when Trayvon was killed by George Zimmerman. But that goes back to what George was saying. It don't happen right then and there. You got to go through them channels. You got to go through them experiences. And then, a decade later, somebody else said it take 10 years to actually get your idea, your invention, your creation. It take 10 years to actually get it visualized where you can actually put action to it. And it did take me 10 years, like 13 years, I think, to actually get my visual, my brand and stuff, how I am, what I see, what I feel for my people and stuff. All of this, it's right on time. We right on time. I was thinking that, for the longest time, I was thinking shit, I was behind and, I'm going to get left. Y'all going to leave me, and I'm not going to be able to help myself, help my people and stuff, Yeah, I was just, yeah. Well, it's so good to see y'all and stuff, and I am ready to read. You know, I'm glad I was up, but yeah, I'm ready to read. You know, we did finish our other book at lunchtime, and we still got a little bit of this to go, just a little bit. You know, it take me a minute. You know, I am a speed reader. I'm a speed reader when I'm reading to myself, but this can't be just, you know, speed read and stuff. And then this is not the only book. Oh, it's got some other books on here also. White Ethics and Black Power, The Emergence of the West Side Organization, Violent Men, and Inquiry into the Psychology of Violence. He got some good books. Negroes in Cities, Residential Segregation and Neighborhood Change, The Politics of School Desegregation, Comparative Case Studies of Community Structure and Policy Making. So see, y'all, to be able to even be willing to read stuff, you know, just read anything. Your baby who love to read, who love to tinker with stuff, we can't just let it be a hobby, because it's not just a hobby. You know, it's not just a hobby. Those are the life gifts. And that's how I think that's how we end up dropping the ball a lot of the times, because if we don't let our children hone and perfect their gifts that they like to do, and it's productive, then they can't find nothing else that'll replace that. You see, they'll always be trying to find something else that make them feel like that. You know, they like to tinker with mechanical stuff in the house. Your toaster, the remote control, you know, the fan. You know, they got everything, you know, and they in there in the kitchen table. You come in there in breakfast time and they done took the whole thing apart, but they always put it back together. You know, those right there are skills and stuff. And if you always be like, oh, put that up and stop doing that, you know, and that's my toaster, you know, then they'll stop doing it. They'll stop doing it, eventually forget about it, start doing other things. But this is the thing about it. In life, they can't find nothing else that brings them so much joy, like taking apart that toaster and putting it back together. And then when you use it, it's better than the new toaster you done went and bought. So see, whatever our babies like to do and stuff, we got to let them do it. We got to encourage them to do it and show them the right way to do it. You know, the right way to make it a vision, make it productive for them. Look, remember that movie, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind in Africa? William, that was his name. I like to watch it with my grandbabies and stuff. And they didn't have water and stuff. And then when it did rain over there in Africa, it rained too much, you know, and then it was just droughts. It was just dry. And y'all, he built a huge windmill, you know, and powered water to their little farm. He did that, but at first no one wanted to help him. His daddy didn't want to help him, didn't want to give him his bicycle. So when it's up there, you know, and the wind blow, see that chain on the bicycle, when you paddle, the chain and the bicycle on the bicycle, it is going still. So it's helping the windmill to turn. And the windmill is hooked up to the thing on the ground, you know, because it's going down. The wires is. And when it start turning and stuff, you know, the water starts coming. They had a well. The water was coming out of the well or something. I don't know. But honey, we just got to encourage our babies and whatever they like to do. We got to encourage them. And then that ain't all that they might have. Remember Michael Jackson used to say, I got so many songs in my head. You know, it's like that. That's the only thing that, you know, gonna really save us is us. We the only ones that's gonna save us is us. I was listening to Farrakhan. He was saying it too. We the only ones to save us. But it's with what we got. We got to utilize what we got. We got to be able to use what the cosmos gave us. When this whole thing is over, y'all, a whole lot of people not going to be here. But we got to be here. Do you even understand that? We must be here. Our people must be here. The way people are just letting us, they just stringing us along, it ain't even no security for us, for our people on any level. on any level in this society, on this planet. It ain't no resources, no survival, no strategies for us. We gonna have to do everything for us. Yeah, I don't know. Hell, we might just be out in the storm. We might just be out in the storm. You better jump for cover. Run for cover. I don't know. Get in a ditch or something. I don't know. Maybe we got to make our own bunkers. But I know one thing, we got to find a way so we can survive through this. And we can only do it with us. We only need us to do it. You know, I feel, you know, bad and you know, just fucked up because we can't put our trust in nobody else. That's just how it is. I wish we could. I wish I could say it. You know, yeah, Black America, we got to put our trust in everybody else because, you know, we all got to survive. No, we don't. No, we don't. We all ain't got to survive. We ain't here to be here forever anyway. No, we ain't. You know, we can't keep coming to the rescue for everybody. That's why we keep getting all the karma. Because, see, we want to run and rescue everybody else. Hell, and they the ones causing all the havoc, all this madness. See, this whole matrix and stuff, we ain't built none of this shit. You see, but we always come to the rescue. Trying to help people, trying to make it better for everybody else. And we done with that. We can't do that no more. Everybody going to have to get what's coming. You know, everybody just got to get what's coming to them. That's like, you know, when somebody do you wrong. When somebody do you wrong, how do I want to put this? Oh, and they get they punishment and stuff, and then you jump up and be like, oh no, don't do that. It's all right. Please don't. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. You finna get some additional karma because they didn't get it. You see how that work? Now you finna get it. See, that's what's happening to us. I believe that's what's been happening to us because we've been standing in the way of white America getting their karma, getting their judgment, being held accountable, standing in their truth for what they've done. We won't never get out the way. So they ask and get what's coming to them. And they know this. They were sure of this. That, hey, we can keep on doing it. Black America will always be there. We will not get that cosmic payback. Because, see, vengeance is not ours. I don't care. It is fucked up down here for us. But, honey, vengeance is theirs. Vengeance belongs to my ancestors. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. Yeah. My mama already knew. She already knew when my grandson told her I don't believe in Jesus Christ. You know, we didn't get to talk about Black Jesus, you know, but I'm sure she knew that it was a Black Jesus if it's anybody. But we didn't get to talk about it stuff. He just told her, Granny don't believe in Jesus Christ. And I said, no, not that Jesus Christ. I don't. And I don't know, did my mama have him on her wall? She probably did. Yeah, my mama probably had him on her wall too. I'm going to have to ask one of my sisters. Yeah. But anyway, let's read. Let me get this out the way first. I am Face the Nation. We are on Bolden Unchained. And we're here to assist Black America and Black media. Black America and Black media with the uncovering and this is enough of us in here. All we need is two. Me and you. And then the ancestors here and stuff. You know, ancestors just tell me to do what I got to do. That's it and that's all. And I thank you for being here because that's all I need is two. Once they told me that was fine. I ain't got to sit here and wait, you know, and yeah, I can just wait for one person to come on here and hey, we good. They said that's enough, Face, as long as you got one person on there. Ain't that what y'all say? If you got two people, you got church? Same thing. So yeah, see, we here to assist Black America with the uncovering and the condemning of the many agendas, events, projects, operations, laws, acts, codes, plans, bills, courses, studies, experiments. So many experiments, y'all. The largest experiment, the Negro problem, 1,408 pages of genocide. Now, you know that's over in Africa. I guess that's probably America and Africa. But yeah, I'm going to try to get that. Honey, I tried to go get the Project 2025 document. That 932-page document cost $92. It sure did. I'm going to get it, though. You know, I'm gonna get it, but cause I do have it downloaded, but I like to have it, you know, where I can read it and mark it and annotate and stuff. And honey, I tried to go get that sucker, honey, and it was $92. I said, whoa, yeah, I'm gonna try to get it in the next week or so if I can. But it's so many studies and so many arrows. You know how it be like the OJs was singing backstabbers, and you could just see the stabbing in the back. Honey, it's so many knives, arrows in Black America back. Because we done got so far away from ourselves, we don't know who the real enemy is anymore. But we know who the open enemy is, the natural enemy. I do. I know who our natural enemy is. I sure do, honey. My brothers and my sisters ain't my natural enemy. No, my brothers and my sisters are hurt. Y'all the one taught me that hurt people hurt people. My people are hurt to the point that we can't even help ourselves not be hurt. All we got to do is just stand up to white America and say, hey, we done with this shit. We are so done with this shit. You ain't never been sincere with us. And we done did everything in our power to show that we ain't got no remorse. We not, trying to undermine white America. Now, we was very sincere integrating with them. And for me to, wake up today, I'm like, over half 100. I'm 52 years old, and ain't nothing really changed. White America ain't even made no effort to stop the racism that their ancestors invented. They sure ain't. William Joseph Simmons, that's the man that revived the KKK in 1915. That Simmons, whose damn relative was his today? Where they at today? His descendants. And who is my people that's in with the family? Do they even know about that history of them people that they with? Nope. Because we don't ask them type of questions. We don't even ask us questions. So we ain't asking no white people no questions about your great-granddaddy, your great-grandmama, all of these men right here. Honey, they was somebody's son. They was somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's uncle, somebody's cousin, somebody's neighbor and stuff. They got kids themselves. They got kids themselves. That's probably my age. Probably our age. And who done sat around and fucked around and married one of they damn nephews, cousins, and ain't even got no idea. Ain't got no idea. See, that's what we've done. That's what we have done. Integrate. Integrate didn't mean get out here, mingle, marry, and just procreate like we ain't got no kind of a mate that was made for us. Can't even see our life without the very people that would put another black person on the fire. He wasn't the first one. No, he wasn't the first one. They did it to 17-year-old Jesse Washington. 17-year-old Jesse Washington. This was their culture. I know we think that it's gone, it's changed and stuff, but it ain't. Kentucky said it in the book that they had to tell white America to stop doing these things publicly because they want people to move to Kentucky with their families, their businesses, and, make Kentucky seem safe. And it's a beautiful state to live in and stuff. And now, I kind of blame white America for how the government just do whatever. It's like hell shit. I guess white America being like at that time and stuff, if we stop doing this to black people, lynching them and burning them and stuff like they did to Willie Brown, then y'all gonna have to lynch them as soon as they commit a crime. And and finally Kentucky said, yeah, we'll do it. And when Kentucky agreed that they would do it, white folks went crazy, lost their motherfucking mind, making up lies and shit so that they could get a black man arrested. Then they all could get together and go get his ass at the jail and, and lynch him and stuff. This right here, I don't know how we could think this right here could go away. It ain't never got to be spoken about again. Don't we seem like that's some type of manipulation to us? I do. I don't know about y'all, but yeah, I do. Everybody else being held accountable and standing your truth and stuff. And the greatest crime, the biggest crime, ain't even being talked about. Everybody acting like, oh no, that's just a fable or a lie. Where the lie at? Where's the lie for what white America has done to black America? My people need healing. My people need healing. Can't nobody deny it. Can't nobody deny that black America need healing. If you here for other people's and stuff, then you need to go where other people's is at. You came here to see about black America's welfare. Because that's what I'm doing here. I'm concerned. My first and final concern is black America's welfare, well-being, and black America's sanity. Because y'all, we so close. We've been dealing with these people. We've been dealing with white America forever. The few decades that we had black America was the freest we ever been from white America. Other than that, we ain't never been away from white America. They won't never let us go. They won't let us go. They burned down, in my opinion, they burned down all of our black Wall Streets and drug us right back up under their motherfucking asses. And that's where we been ever since. Right up under them. Oh, yeah, we claim that, we're across the street. We claim we're across the street. We ain't oppressed no more. We ain't under white America no more. We got these rights. We can do this. And we can't even leave the motherfucking front yard because white people is looking. And them plantations had some big ass yards. That damn gravel, that road leading up to the big house, that motherfucker take 15 minutes on a horse to get from the main road or whatever that was down the gravel to the big house. And yeah, that's where we be. That's where we be. I just feel like, something finna happen, black America. We need to be prepared. We need to be ready. We need to be together. It ain't gonna really make no sense if everybody everywhere else getting our needs met, but then our people ain't getting nothing met. Our people are suffering. That's who gonna suffer. Our people, our babies. Our babies ain't gonna be used to not eating like they like to eat and stuff. That's why we gotta start now. We got to start now weaning them off of meat. Not so much meat. If you're going to cook some meat with your dinners and stuff, honey, half it in half. And even cut it in small parts, small pieces. That way they can have a little tiny piece of meat with every little bite of food that they take. Because we're going to find ourselves eating stir fries and salads from our inside gardens. We're going to have to go, we're going to have to rough it out like that. All of us ain't going to be able to have these lavish gardens in the backyard and stuff. Some of us going to have that garden on the inside of the house. And I'm fine with that. I can have my inside garden in a room, in a corner somewhere. But we're going to have to do these things. Lead farmer, I think it's 73. He on YouTube and stuff. It's a lot of us on YouTube telling us, how to get back to our basic needs of taking care of us, what we were sustaining. It's a lot of us doing that. But we looking through a spiritual lens, y'all. I'm not religious. I probably used to be and stuff, but I was meant to be. My mama took us to church and stuff, but it just didn't never resonate with me. I tried, it didn't resonate with me, and that's fine with me. At this point in my life right here, that's fine with me. I didn't want to be fearful always anyway of, when you die, when you leave here, it's just a whole big fear. You going to hell, you did something wrong. Are you going to go to heaven? Oh yeah, the lake of fire and stuff. Yeah. My mama taught me not to steal, kill, and destroy, I like to sleep at night, so I don't manipulate people, do people wrong and stuff. I don't like to have to watch over my shoulders. Because I done manipulated somebody, sold somebody a lemon And then the car quit on that highway on them, or whatever. I don't like doing shit like that. I ain't got time for it. You know, that's superficial stuff. So yeah, I'm not religious, you know, and I'm spiritual. I'm proud to be spiritual too. I sure am, honey. The same way y'all proud to be Christians and stuff like y'all is, and you got your higher power and stuff. I got mine too. You know, so we looking through a spiritual lens here. Ain't no forgiveness here for white America. Ain't no forgiveness right here for white America. All of that and stuff, you're gonna have to take it over there to sister. She ain't even over here. Sister don't come over here. Sister do not come over here. She stay over there. Sometimes I might go to one of her videos and stuff, but you know, but she don't come over here because ain't no forgiveness over here and stuff. And I don't be over there to forgive. She might be talking about something that I could get some knowledge from and stuff, but yeah, and I ain't forgiving nobody and stuff. So yeah, you in the wrong place if you here to forgive white American stuff. Ain't no mercy right here for white America. White America gonna get what the cosmos finna give them. That's it, and that's all. Right here. And we look through a spiritual lens of loyalty. Who are we loyal to, Black America? See, to get our healing, to heal, we got to be sincere about this. We can't be lying and playing and timid with white America. So we want to talk about Willie Brown and, you know, what happened to Willie and Jesse Thornton. No, we can't be coming with all that soft voice and shit. Where was your family at? We need to really talk, Sabrina, white people, white America, about y'all history. The same way y'all done studied us and just done mapped out completely the mind, the lives, the routine of Black people, Black Americans. It's time for us to talk to y'all. It's time for us to study y'all. We need to know some answers to these questions and stuff. All of y'all peoples and stuff, y'all culture that did all of these things and stuff. Why didn't y'all tell us when we were mingling and marrying and having babies and stuff? Why didn't white America tell us that this right here ain't been resolved? Y'all ain't had no treatment. How did y'all actually just put this to the side and stuff? What about these urges? You ain't never talked to your great grandmama, your granddaddy. Why did y'all take this and make this hidden from us? See, that's how I feel about it. I feel like white America knew and done kept this hidden, but see, the kids tell it. See, they kids is out here, white America, y'all kids is out here showing this very mindset. Still, it ain't stopped. It ain't stopped. While y'all always out here, you know, in the fight with us. Can you go over there and fight that shit? This is what you were supposed to have been fighting. You know, we out here marching and stuff. Folks out here marching and stuff. You out here with folks marching and stuff. But this right here, ain't nobody even on this. White America, you ain't even on this. You ain't never turned your attention, your focus, your energy, your fight, your stance against this right here. Confronting it, I mean. Oh, yeah, we're attacking every issue of the systemic racism. Every aspect of systemic racism, Black people is attacking it. It ain't no good. We got to get it out here. We need to do an overhaul of this, an overhaul of that. But why is all of that existing? Why does all of that even exist? Because of white America. White America. I agree with George Fraser. Y'all ass is insane. Only insane people can justify slavery. This was after slavery. I mean, ain't nobody ever even been held accountable. That man, that white man that was talking about when he was a firefighter in the 60s and 70s, because he was 89 years old. He probably was a firefighter a couple of decades, you know. And he said that all of them did it in the profession. They left Black babies in them fires and stuff. Honey, as soon as that video hit the airwaves, they should have been going to get his ass for murder. And the rest of their asses that were still alive, they should have been going to get all of their asses for murder. But see, ain't nobody ever been held accountable. Oh, it was them times. So see, yeah, that's why ain't no mercy here. I ain't got no mercy for nobody, and I ain't got no forgiveness for nobody but my ancestors. Got us thinking that we got to forgive them or we going to hell. I think some of y'all really believe if you don't forgive these people, you're going to hell for that. I mean, it's for you, Face. It's not for them, it's for you. Yeah, that's why your ass won't speak up for what happened. You know, black people know. We need to quit being dumb for white folks. We know that forgiveness ain't for us. That forgiveness for they asses. Black America just scared to let them know. Hey, y'all asses ain't never been held accountable for this. Now you're trying to get out here and help save the world. Ooh, honey. Yes, ancestors, come through. Sure do. Let's read this copyright disclaimer. We don't know how long we got to do this anyway. Copyright disclaimer under 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. 1976. I was 4 years old when they came out with this. Was it one before then? Because, black people was already reading and inventing and creating and stuff. I'm thinking that this right here came about when it became noticeable. That, hey, black people are really reading and they so intelligent and stuff. They might actually get to this knowledge right here. And that's okay if they get to the knowledge. That's all right if they get to the knowledge and they read it to themselves and stuff. But we got to have some type of roadblock. So if they, they got to do this right here or it's blocked. I don't know. I'm just wondering, and the pastors and stuff, do they have to read this right here when they reading the Bible on Sundays and stuff? But I do. I read it, Yeah. But let me read this right here before I get into the book and stuff of why I'm spiritual. I didn't know why I was spiritual. I didn't know why the Bible never resonated with me since I was a little girl. It just didn't. I heard Jesus say that somebody was a prostitute and that was it. Yep, for me. That was it for me. I was like, oh, no, Now, Jesus cussing somebody out. Yeah, I think it was in red letters, too. And I think that was the end of me trying to understand the Bible and stuff, I probably fell out laughing. I don't know. But I know after that right there, I pretty much gave up. But anyway, yeah, I didn't know I was spiritual all them years and stuff. I didn't know I was spiritual till later in life, I guess, when I started, looking for my personal freedom. And I didn't even know I was seeking my personal freedom. See, we don't know these things. We really just think we here to just live and work and pay bills and have babies and, and get stuff. Houses, cars, and, get stuff. And then, we die. But, honey, it's so much more to that. It sure is, honey, them old weak-ass lies, them old weak-ass goals, dreams. I ain't saying they, non-existent stuff, but on the total aspect of things, it's so much bigger than that, honey. It is so much bigger than that. White America make it seem like, to get married, go to school, get an education, get married, have a baby, maybe get you a business, get you a big old house and a couple of cars, and that's it. Oh, honey, no. We got the whole cosmos in us. Honey, we supposed to be inventing and creating contributions that's going to last for the next 100, 200 years. Norbert Rillies, he was a black man, and he helped slave women. I think they was in Jamaica. He helped the slave women. They had to turn sugarcane juice into sugar, and it was real hot. And he made a device where they didn't even have to touch it and stuff. They was able to make that sugarcane juice into sugar without moving that hot liquid and stuff. I don't know how he did it. We'll have to look him up and stuff. His name is Norbert Rillies. I was saying Robert, but it's Norbert. When I looked him up again, it's Norbert, like the movie that little Eddie, you know that man. What's his name? Norbert. You can remember his name like Norbert is Norbert, like Robert, but it's Norbert. Norbert Rillies. Rilieix, I think, something like it. Riliux, I think it is. And right today, they using his invention, honey, for shampoo, soap, glue, ink. Yeah, they using his invention. So see, we really supposed to be creating Black America. But see, we got away from all that being up under white America. Religion had a big hand in it. Religion not only took our focus off of our safety by making us forgive and forget, but it also paralyzed our analysis to think, to create, to invent things. We don't have no connections to none of that. It actually paralyzed our analysis to imagine, to be in sync with the creation that we are a part of, literally. If the cosmos manifested us, then we are a direct, connection to the cosmos. And yeah, that's why they called us children of the sun. Black people all over this planet, children of the sun and stuff. Black America, children of the sun. We are exceptional, Black Americans. We are so exceptional right here in America, and we still holding on. We still, got our sanity and stuff. We still sane enough that we can steer our own people. We can lift our people up out of this oppression right here, but we got to face the truth. We got to face the nation, white nation. We got to face them and let them know that, hey, y'all ain't never had no healing, no therapy, no nothing. When the hell is y'all ass planning on coming out the bag again? Because shit is getting tough out there. Shit is getting tough out there. Black people are saying, nah, we ain't coming back out no more. Y'all got this. Y'all got this for once. And, yeah. So don't be surprised if all the anger and the rage turn to Black America like it's always done. The draft riots, all that rage and anger, honey, white folks and them other folks, the Irish, I guess it was in the book. Honey, them folks turned their rage from the representatives of the draft that was drafting their asses. Honey, they turned all that rage and anger right to Black America and started massacring their asses. Yep. Oh, I didn't mean to say it like that. Started massacring Black people. Yep. And, I just feel like, hey, it's still a possibility. History can and will repeat itself. If the circumstances and the situation is right, yeah, history will repeat itself. And don't you, Black America, don't you think for 1 minute, anybody, white people, Hmong people, Amish people, Spanish people, Indian people, Somalian people, all the people that's here, don't you think for 1 minute they're gonna stand up for you, Black Americans? Say, you ain't finna enslave them again. You ain't finna enslave them. Nope. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. They're gonna be like, oh well, well, Black America, they can handle it. That's gonna be their mindset. Well, that white America want them. Because people just seem like they are always just willing to give white America what they want. And that would be so fucked up. Because if it ever come to be that damn serious and stuff, y'all, we need to just tell the sun, our father, to go ahead and blow this whole motherfucking planet up. Just blow it up. Because if they ever get our numbers down so minuscule, so small, and the energy that we receive from the sun go back to the sun, then the sun gonna blow up anyway. The sun is literally gonna blow up. It ain't enough living things in this creation to accept the energy, the vapors from the sun that we receive, that it gives out to us. You know how the sun is like your battery and stuff. When you go out in the sun, you got so much energy. You be up all day outside in the summertime. You be moving. You be on the go. because it's like an energizer for us. You know, I know we see other people out there running and jogging and, you know, they swimming and you know, paragliding and all that good stuff, you know, because everybody get energy from the sun. But black people, I know I wake up and hit the floor running, you know, when the sun is out and stuff, you know, because it gives us an exorbitant amount of energy. Well, if we're not here on this planet to receive that energy, it can't be dispersed into the other living creations like the waters, the insects, the animal kingdom, the sea life, marine life, other people. It ain't enough life on this planet that can soak up all of that energy that the sun gives to black people. So, you know, this New World Order thing, you know, depopulation, the white folks didn't think that out either. White folks didn't think out nothing. No, they didn't. They the ones going off of emotions and stuff. Their hatred. They the ones have been going off of emotions, their hatred of us. And now mankind and humanity at stake. Mankind and humanity at stake. Don't be mistaken, honey. Yeah. Life itself, as we know it, is over. Sure will. I just want to say to us, let's make sure we here. Let's make sure we here. Our people survive this. Let's give ourselves a chance to survive this because it's unprecedented. These things ain't never happened in this lifetime, and you know it. Ain't nobody ever even seen what's coming. Ain't nobody ever seen no damn humanoid robot, no robotic dog, flying cars. Ain't nobody never seen that. These 5G towers that's up all over, them huge chandelier-like things. Ain't nobody ever seen them damn things. All of this is unprecedented. Yeah, it's like, you know, we're going to wake up one day and it's going to be final. The whole landscape of life itself is going to be changed. It's going to be futuristic, I guess you would say. So, yeah, we got work to do. We got to start building and stuff, you know, teaching our babies and stuff. And the sooner we get to teaching them, the sooner their minds can start, you know, creating and thinking and stuff. Start with our, you know, the baby books. Just teaching them, just the baby books. But yeah, you know, we ain't never been through this before. I haven't. I didn't even know about, you know, the awakening. I forgave everything. I forgave slavery. You know, I forgave the incidents that I knew of after slavery, Emmett Till. I didn't learn about Fred Hampton. I knew about Martin Luther King being assassinated and Malcolm X being assassinated. But it's so many, and I didn't even know a small percentage of them. I probably didn't even know 10 on my hands, you know, from where I'm from and stuff, because it's just not made available to us. And we don't talk about it anymore. And that's why we're here right now. Yeah, if we wasn't in this awakening right now, y'all, we would be out there fighting with everybody else for everybody else's safety. And see, everybody else, they the one voted this shit in. Everybody else, the ones voted this chaotic madness, they voted all of this in. Because of hatred. Because they feel the same way white America feel about black America. They could not stand that, hey, black America gonna benefit too. That's what it was. Black America gonna benefit too. So yeah, we ain't voting that way. We gonna vote over here this way. Yep, not knowing the hell you didn't do nothing but screw yourself up, because shit, black America gonna be all right. We gonna get through this. We know what it's like to struggle. We ain't never had nothing. Ain't never had no help, no healing, no nothing, no resources, no nothing. Had to get everything out the mud. So yeah, you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And we gonna let it. We gonna let it. We ain't stepping in to stop this karma that's coming because of choices that's been made. We done sacrificed too much for nobody to even give a damn. Ain't nobody gave a damn or a vote for us. All people had to do was vote for life. They didn't have to vote for Trump and think that Trump really is for everybody's well-being. They knew exactly who that man was. That man is avenging everything about white supremacy, and they know it. Everybody knew it. You know, everybody knew it. And the white women and stuff, who was that said that? The sister that said that she believed white women really do what white men say so white men don't be hard on them. They can take out all that rage and shit on other people, and they do. So yeah, I don't blame my people at all for deciding to just, hey, we done. We out of this. I sure don't. I'm glad that our people are saying, hey, we out of this. We finna save us now. Yeah. So that's why, I'm happy that I'm spiritual. I'm not questioning my spirituality anymore. It don't even bother me anymore that I'm not religious, that people might say, oh, you going to hell. This is hell right here. This is hell right here. Because if you really know what's in heaven, I don't think you want to go. Yeah. And I was listening to Professor James Small. See, I always take notes and stuff, even then. Who is this on the back of here? I have wrote down them notes and stuff on the back of here. All right. I was doing some research on some. Our lawyers are fighting Trump's executive orders. That right there must have came from the Defiant Lawyers Network. But anyway, Professor James Small, you can go to YouTube and look this up. The reasoning, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And he was talking about religion and stuff, because I'm not religious. I guess then this right here was at a time when I was trying to make sense of it, of where I stand. And I write stuff down and stuff. So anyway, it said that the Africans referred to God as the totality of creation itself. In other words, everything that makes up God is inside of you. Everything that makes up God is inside of you. God is just the totality of creation itself. Everything that makes up creation. Everything that makes up that tree out there. Yep. Everything that make up the waters, the soil, all of them wonderful minerals and elements, it's in you. Yeah, it's in you. Most, that's the key word. Most humans break down to over 400 elements and minerals. And every last one of them, y'all, all of those minerals and elements can be found in the cosmology and the rest of ecology. That's the skies and you see that picture up there at the top right there? That's the skies and the ground. The cosmos, the cosmology is the cosmos, the skies, and ecology is the soil. I know y'all know because my teachers is on here. See, but I be talking to speak to those that, we didn't find that educational freedom. We didn't find that financial freedom. We ain't got personal freedom, Those of us that's here that are my teachers, see, I didn't know that my teachers would actually be here for the ones for me to learn from. But, when I be speaking this stuff, it's to us that's lost, that, we ain't never learned these things. We just blindly take religion for what it is and just hope and pray that, we make it to heaven too. But honey, that's all a lie. Yeah, that's all a lie. That's why I'm so thankful that I am spiritual, honey, because if I was religious and I done woke up and found out all these lies about that too, oh, honey, yeah. Ooh, that wouldn't be pretty at all. So anyway, most humans break down to over 400 minerals and elements. All these minerals and elements, y'all, are in the skies and the soil. Every time, you take your shoes off, the iron, the minerals, the copper, the cobalt, or wherever, even in African stuff, you take your shoes off and stuff, the thiacin, the manganese, the iron, it's in the soil too. So it talks to the soil, to the elements that's in you. That's being part of creation. We are a direct part of creation because the cosmos itself manifested the black woman and the black man. No, it didn't do that for white folks. I don't know. Ask your pastor. Ask your pastor this. He gonna try to lead you back to Adam and Eve and the Big Bang Theory, and that Eve was the real was taken from Adam, and that's how Eve came to be. But now, once you get to learning and thinking for yourself, see now religion. Let me make sure that I say this right here. Religion is the path to understanding divinity. Divinity is just your knowledge of the cosmos and the soil, the earth, cosmology and ecology. That's all religion is. And I just told you what the cosmos is and what the ecology is. It's God, the creation of God. And your relationship to both of those, that is divinity. That is divinity. That picture up there with the earth in the middle and the lady up at the top, she's the skies. The man at the bottom, he's the earth. I had wrote that down on that paper over there before I even found that picture at the thrift store. It did take 10, 13 years for me to come and get this right here and actually be able to see it, what it means for me. I'm just explaining to y'all why I'm not religious. And ain't nobody gonna change my mind, about being religious. I'm spiritual. If anything, I'm gonna change your mind about being religious. Yeah, but that's all religion is. Understanding what you mean, what your relationship is to the cosmos and the ecology. Yeah. And I know they tell us you got to have a relationship with God. You got to have a relationship with Jesus. You need to have a relationship with the cosmos and the soil. Because if you ain't got that relationship right there, you will never, ever have an analysis where you want to go further than heaven. The only thing you would think about, the only thing you would desire and crave is just heaven. Just heaven. Heaven is right here in this circle. Yeah, I tore the paper off, so it ain't no full circle, but you get it. Yeah. And that's the circle right there. That's religion right there. You got this whole area right here of new knowledge that you don't know. Dr. Ray Hagens, that was him that did that about the circle, because he said the space inside this circle represents my realm of knowledge. All that I think I know about whatever I think I know is depicted right here within this circle. I must keep in mind that there is more to know than what is within the circumference of my awareness. It is more to know than what's in here. Heaven is in here as far as they've been teaching us, as far as religion been teaching us. Heaven is in here. But honey, you got a whole multiverse, Black America. You, Black America, got a whole multiverse that you can go to. It ain't just one universe. That one universe right there, it's got 999 galaxies, 999 planets too. But see, you ain't got to stop there. Hell, I doubt if you make it to any of them if you behind them gates and stuff. I don't know. Ask your pastor and stuff. It just dawned on me, But out here with all of this new knowledge, see, religion is keeping us, it's a crutch. So, the self-hatred that I'm trying to find out, where did this self-hatred come from? That's on Black America. We so hard on each other. I ain't never seen us hard like this before. I ain't never seen it. I don't think we ever been this hard on each other before. And I think it's to keep white America off of us. We feel like subconsciously, I don't know, we feel like if we hard on us, white America ain't got to do it. They ain't got to ride down on us no more. And they ain't really even, out in the opening like they are now because of Trump. But, they really was content to let us just wipe ourselves out. But since Trump out there and stuff, oh yeah, they really showing their asses how they feel. Now it's like they done already start slobbing at the mouth. Can't wait to get back to the way of making America great again. The way things used to be. Yeah, I see it now. They look like they already slobbering and ready for the chase. Ready for the chase. But anyway, I digress. And Dr. Ray Hagen said that Dedicated ignorance. It's another term for self-hate, y'all. I didn't know it either. My teacher's the one told me that, hey, stop saying self-hate. It's demeaning and it's wrong. You know. Then y'all said that hurt people hurt people. So you didn't tell me who gave it a new name and stuff. I had to find that myself. And I don't mind doing the research. See, we can't mind doing the research. If you need to be pointed in a direction, then say, hey, where would I look at? You know, give me a hint where it's at and stuff. But, you know, yeah, I digress. But anyway, I was doing some reading and stuff in this Dr. Ray Hagen's, y'all. Dr. Ray Hagen said that self-hatred, he coined it as dedicated ignorance. It's a self-defeating dogma. You ain't even got to do nothing. It's defeating you. It's defeating you, just having it. You ain't even going to win. You can't win because it's a self-defeating dogma. See, it's all you already done defeated yourself by having it. So see, by having religion, can you imagine just having this little amount of knowledge right here? Imagine if you had all of this new knowledge that's down here. You see, it's like a trap. Religion is, truly. And he said, let me read a little bit. He said, we must start the process of undoing or reversing the ideas and concepts that have been programmed into the minds of our people by the religious statements and church doctrines that have caused them to adopt a belief system that has resulted in their loss of contact with what is real, factual, historical, and spiritual. You get that? Yeah, we got to start undoing and reversing all of these thoughts and all of these beliefs that come with religion. One of them is that, you know, you'll get your what is it? Your blessings is being built up in heaven. You ain't even gonna need your blessings in heaven. But you're gonna need some blessings for in heaven. It said you ain't gonna be hungry, you ain't gonna be cold, you ain't gonna be sick, you're gonna have everything you need. It's gonna be peaceful there. And so why you gotta wait to heaven to get your blessings and stuff when you done worked hard here? You done been a good, law-abiding, helpful fellow man to other people here. But see, it's just that self-defeating dogma that just keep us in this little mindset right here instead of all of this. I'll explain a little bit more and stuff because I had to make sense of it too. And I didn't even know. The ancestors gave me the PowerPoint, I guess you would say. It's right there on the wall. Once I started explaining it to try to make sense so you can understand me, who I am, why I think the way I do, why I talk the way I do, because I'm spiritual. I don't know a whole lot of spiritual people, except for, you know, on Black media. But in my life and stuff, no, in my life, my everyday life, people that I know and meet and see and interact with, everybody is Christian. Everybody is Christian and everybody believes in heaven and hell. I don't believe in heaven and hell. No, I believe in, you know, the afterlife. People ask me, oh, you going to heaven with Jesus? No, I'm not. No, I'm not going nowhere with that man. Which Jesus? First of all, which Jesus you talking about? Show me a picture of him. Let me see the picture that you talking about and stuff, because I'm not going nowhere with that man. Sure ain't. And you know, when I say Black Jesus, I'm talking about Simeon Toko. He ain't in heaven either. He in the afterlife with the ancestors. And the ancestors is not in heaven with these same people, y'all, that slaughtered them. The ancestors is not in heaven with these same people. I got a video too about Emmett Till. Y'all know I was telling y'all a couple of on airs ago, we was, you know, talking and stuff that Emmett Till is not with Carolyn Bryant in heaven. How about a brother? I think it was Emmett's cousin. Did a video. I think it was with Sister Demetria K or maybe Amadea. It was one of them. Honey, and the cousin done forgave Carolyn Bryant and her brothers, her husband and her brother, the men that went and kidnapped Emmett Till and then they went and beat him and stuff. He done forgave them, honey, and then done said that they all in heaven hugging. Emmett Till is in heaven hugging Carolyn Bryant. Our baby brother is not in heaven hugging Carolyn Bryant motherfucking ass. Carolyn shouldn't even be in heaven. You hear me? Carolyn Bryant shouldn't be in heaven. Her ass should be burning in hell. All of them. Every last one of them. The other books that we gonna read to, all of them should be burning in hell. But yeah, that pissed me off too, to hear him say that. And he forgive him. And you know, he I don't know. I can't even make sense of it. It made me want to, play some Dr. Francis Cress Wells and let him know you ain't even got to forgive him. That ain't for them. That ain't for you. I mean, they tell, oh, that's for you, Face, to forgive them. Keeping all that hate on you is not any good. What hate? I don't hate they motherfucking ass. I'm just condemning and calling out what it is. The judgment that's coming, honey, I'm satisfied with that. I sure am. And I'm not standing in the way of it either. All I'm saying is for my people, use discernment. Find out who the hell your ass been around. Who you done colluded with. Because everything ain't what it seems. Sure ain't, honey. It's finna come a day real soon. Everybody finna let black folks know we've been willing to tell y'all. We've been wanting to tell y'all. We've been still playing y'all for a motherfucking fool, and we did it. We got y'all numbers down so low now. We can let y'all know how we really feel about y'all motherfucking asses now. See, it's all a game. It's all a game, a scam, a manipulation, a mind trap. And, we falling for everything. I don't know. I know you say, oh, that show sound far-fetched and stuff. It sure do. This right here did too. This right here was too. This ain't never went nowhere. Shit, y'all just don't want to talk about it. Hoping that it'll never happen again. I know that's what everybody think. Oh, it'll never happen again. I hope it'll never happen again. But yeah, keep playing the fool and see. Ain't that what y'all said? This is FAFO. Fuck around and find out. Black America. See, everybody got y'all mind where it's paralyzed. Religion. You forgive everybody. You love everybody. Everybody, your sister, everybody, your brother and stuff. Honey, ain't nobody stood up for John Hartfield. Ain't nobody stood up for Jesse Thornton. Ain't nobody stood up for Maurice Mays, George Stinney, Emmett Till. We know about Emmett. How about them motherfuckers been shooting bullets in his grave? How they got the sign up, the little metal sign with Emmett Till name and what happened to him on the stuff. They've been shooting at that. Just driving down the street, down the freeway and stuff, and just start shooting it, putting bullets in it and stuff. And then why it ain't bulletproof anyway? I'm just saying, I digress. But let me get to this right here before we read and stuff. The minds of most of our masses, this is still Dr. Ray Hagan's, the minds of most of our masses is still limited by what Eurocentric historiographers have placed within it. So we compulsively find a label within the parameters of their historiography to satisfy our need for identification. Compulsive behaviors is like the movies and your school curriculum, video games, religion, the safe stuff. See, we'll go back to the safe stuff that's inside that little area right there of knowledge that we got. Because see, them safe things right there, you ain't got no chance of coming across no really substantial knowledge. See, that's going to activate your thought processes. So see, that's what we do. Instead of looking outside to find something that's going to activate our thought processes where our personal freedom lies, we stay right in here and we find something that is cool, calm, and collected for white America that white America can agree with. They, you know, they can get down with it. They ain't worried about it, you know. It ain't going to get you outside of that circle. Oh, no. It ain't going to get you outside of this circle. You probably can get amass all kind of achievements and awards and degrees and homes and businesses and stuff, but you better keep it on the inside right here. You can't access outside of that right there. And see that right there, to me, that ain't nothing but being contained. That ain't nothing but being contained, y'all. Corral. That's what religion does to us. But let's read a little bit more what he said. And Dr. Ray Hagins is a psychologist and a pastor. And I think when I first listened to him, he said he didn't know any of this knowledge either. But once he did know it, then it changed his mind of thought about religion, Christianity. It just changed it. And he still preach and he's still a pastor and stuff, but he's more spiritual and telling us how religion is a crutch, you know, and it hinders us. Because it do. Hell, he the psychologist, you ain't. So he said, in the definition of its true purpose, see, religion got a true purpose. I know you think that religion is just, you know, just to help you get to heaven. No, that ain't religion's true purpose, honey. That's what you think religion's true purpose is. Once I get done before I read, you might not even want to go to heaven. Once I tell you what I got to tell you. But, yeah. I'm going to tell you, too. Yeah, don't worry. I know your heart beating fast, too. Mine is, too. But he said in the definition of its true purpose, religion may be defined as a cultural, white folks, psycho-philosophical vehicle of spiritual and intellectual enslavement. Yeah, that's its true purpose. That's religion's true purpose. Religion's true purpose ain't to help you get to heaven. No. That was a lie. Religion's true purpose is to enslave your mind. Stop your thought process. That's what religion is here to do. See, he said that religion has two endings. The end goal, the bottom line, what you gonna end up being. One of two. This is the end goal of religion. Number one, the cultural and racial superiority of the people who created it. That ain't you, Black America. We didn't create religion, Christianity. You know, I know y'all say that Jesus is black. I know y'all say Jesus is black. It's in the Bible. It mentions it in the Bible and stuff, you know. But white folks created religion. We talking about religion. White folks created that. It was a lie. This right here, the culture and racial superiority, religion makes white people seem to be the supreme one. That's why they got Jesus as a white man, Cesareo Borgia, from the Nicaea, the Council of Nicaea. That's where that man come from. I got some notes on his ass too somewhere. I'll find them. When I do, I'm going to read them too. And then the second ending is the paralysis of analysis by those who believe in it. Your thought processes, how your brain can analyze stuff. Well, with religion, it's paralyzed. It's paralyzed. Religion just paralyzes your thought processes. You can't analyze nothing in this circle right here. You can't analyze nothing in this circle. It is what it is. How you going to analyze something outside of this circle right here when you don't even know nothing outside of this circle right here? See, religion is so misleading for us. Now, maybe it's telling other people, white people, when they get to heaven, their riches and blessings are stored up for them because white people are free in heaven. Black people ain't even free in heaven. What make y'all think y'all gonna be free in heaven? What make you think You're gonna be in free in heaven, especially if you were white folks. Y'all think white folks is gonna be nicer in heaven? They ain't even been nice on earth. This is hell. But they ain't even been nice to us here. They still ain't. Shit, I don't know what you talking about. Well, they are now, Face. Things have changed. You know, and then before I read about this right here, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know about, you know, the multiverse. Because it's more than just heaven. But Mary, Joseph, and Jesus is really a Sar, a Set, and Heru. Your pastor didn't even tell you that. Yeah, our pastors ain't told us nothing. But let me go ahead and break this down right here. Why I'm not going to heaven with y'all. I'm not. You ain't going to change my mind. I'm probably going to change yours. Or at least give you something to think about. You know how white folks tell us that, you know, you can go to heaven. And we want to go to heaven. That's all we think about is going to heaven with white folks. Heaven and hell. That's it. Heaven and hell. Because where I'm from and stuff, see, we only know of Jesus and God and, you know, Allah. Well, I guess it's Jesus and God too. Jehovah's Witness. Their higher power, whatever they call him. My mama was going to be a Jehovah's Witness. But us kids, we were younger. We weren't having that. We wanted our birthdays. We were selfish as hell. We wanted our birthdays, holidays, Thanksgiving, Halloween. And you know, you're Jehovah's Witness, you can't do none of that. That's cut off and stuff. So, you know, all we know was Jesus and God pretty much. You know, so I didn't know about Yahweh and Yahushua with y'all. I didn't know about it. Y'all didn't make sure to teach your family members that was still down south and stuff. So we didn't even get the memo that it was a Yahweh and a Yahushua. That's why I don't even mention them, because y'all know them and I know them because y'all, you know, talk about it and stuff. But I don't have no resonation with it and stuff. Y'all didn't send the memo out. Y'all didn't make sure everybody got the memo. Everybody got the lesson. Just like with dedicated ignorance. Y'all act like everybody was going to get the information and know. That's why I'm sitting here with a book and I love to read, but I didn't even know. Because we don't talk to each other. We want to talk about the celebrities and, you know, and the movie stars and shit. We don't talk about nothing of substance with us. So, yeah, I'm not religious. I am spiritual. But let me go ahead and break this down because we're going to read that little. We got another chapter tonight. We're going to read that. This right here is heaven. You know, they say this. We do think it's one universe. Now, we do have an innate feeling that is more out there, but we ain't got no knowledge of it. We will after this right here. So this right here is hell. This right here is heaven. This where we at. I believe we right here in hell. I believe we right here in hell. I had this right there. My to-do list, but I took it down, you know, when I started explaining this. I don't know, I took it down. So this right here is hell, and this right here is heaven. I believe we are right here. Everybody. We right here in hell. I don't know what we done did, you know, when we was up in the cosmos, in other universities, other galaxies and stuff. But for some reason, we ended up right here. When you die, white folks say you can go to heaven. Heaven got to be right here. In this first, right here. Because we see it as one universe. But y'all, it's more than one universe. They told us it's one universe. But honey, it's more than one universe. It's 12 universes, y'all. A multiverse. And that's going one way. We don't know about going the other way, going forward, going backwards, going up, going down. When you're in the cosmos and stuff, honey, it's so expansive. It's like the ocean. It just goes on and 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 on forever. You know, it has no ending. White folks ain't never found it. As far as they think they done went out there and found something, they ain't even been past the first universe. Nope. Let me show you. Let me go ahead and open this up because you see where hell is and you see where heaven is. Now, this is the first universe that we know about. This is the second universe, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You got 12 universes up there. Keep that in mind now. I don't know, last week I was doing this right here, and I ran across it, and I went and got my notes. That I have been having for all these years and stuff. And it just seemed to make sense that, yeah, it was time for me to put it together. Yeah, this right here is about the Galactic Confederation, y'all. It's 300 ET races. And they all from different planets. Yes, throughout the multiverse. Yeah, it's a fight against, good versus evil. In the cosmos. This fight we think going on down here, this war down here, it's a war in the heavens too. It's a war in the multiverse. Yeah, it's a war in the multiverse too. So it's 12 universes, right? Each universe has 999 galaxies. Each universe. All the universes got 999 galaxies. I didn't think the first universe would, but it does too. The first universe got 999 galaxies. So see, just because, white people got their humongous machines probing the skies and the cosmos and stuff, it ain't getting far out there. It ain't getting as far out there because the 12th universe is way. That's where I'm going to see. That's where I'm going when I leave here to the 12th universe. I ain't going to heaven. Heaven is right there. Heaven is right there. One step above hell. That's where white people going. Where this the sun that they can't even handle is right there. Can you imagine the sun in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 7th, 8th, 12th universe? Can you imagine the brightness of the sun out there? White folks can't handle it out there. White folks can't even handle this sun too much. Yeah, they can go out there and be in this stuff, but honey, you better know they slapped on some kind of sunscreen or something. They can't be out there in the sun like that. Ain't no way past this hell that white folks is going past heaven. It ain't. Now, keep in mind, each universe got 999 galaxies. Each galaxy got 999 planets, y'all. Each planet got 9 realms. Dr. Joy DeGrasse said white folks, them scientists said they lost a planet. But I digress. But they told us it's 9 planets, right? That's probably how many they can see. It's 999 planets. In one galaxy. So you got all these planets out here in one galaxy. But in this planet is 9 realms. This just the first realm. In this planet, it's 8 more realms in this planet right here. See, they ain't explained nothing to us. They haven't explained anything to us. So why you would stop Black America? Hell, white folks can go to heaven all they want to. They ain't got to go up there with Carolyn Bryan and them and these monsters right here, these devils, and pick that cotton up there. Yeah, I said cotton. It looked like clouds down here, but honey, it's cotton up there. It's cotton up there. We got to go further, Black America. Don't be a fool and a dummy. Don't be trapped on earth and, afterlife, in life and afterlife. Don't be true. Don't let white folks do that to you. White folks that played a mind game on us. And that's where Black America, that's why all we think about is going to heaven. We got to think more than heaven. White folks can't go past heaven. That's why they don't never speak about going to the 7th universe, going to the 8th universe, to the 12th universe. It's a whole multiverse out there. That's why the cosmos, they don't woke the cosmos up. The cosmos has intervened on this spiritual war here because we unable to stand up for ourselves. And we unable to stand up for ourselves because we too traumatized. We too traumatized. Our ancestors have literally seen the very devil that we think is under the ground. The very Satan, when somebody say Satan, the devil, Lucifer, and the horns and stuff, we actually think he's under the ground. But our ancestors has literally seen it. They've seen him and her ass, his mate. They've seen it. So for us to sit here and live like, it was a lie. No, they didn't. They didn't say they seen it. You can read the book and it'll tell you literally how they were feeling, what they was up against. But it tell me, I don't have to be browbeaten. I don't have to be prompted, and begged and pleaded to show some understanding and some mercy for my people and what they went through. Ain't nobody finna come and tell me, oh no, Faith, you being too hard. Now, no, how the hell am I being too hard about this? When it's the greatest crime ever. And ain't never been no recompense or nothing. Not like for these people that had their Holocaust. These people right here had their Holocaust with Hitler, and he got his motherfucking ideas from America. But I bet you folks won't ever tell them, forget about it. I'll just go on with your life. Forget about it. That was a long time ago, And this will never happen again. Because they make sure people know we ain't going to forget it, and we ain't going to let y'all ass forget it either. But Black America, y'all, they tell us to forget about our Holocaust. Forget about our Holocaust. Don't talk about it no more. We wasn't here. We wasn't alive, and you wasn't either. And that's what we do. Just shut up. That's what we've done up to this point. And that's because the cosmos stepped in. The cosmos stepped in, and our critical thinkers, our mentors, our elders, our ancestors that's done passed on, left us all of these notes, left us all these blueprints. They left us the answers that we are the ones we waiting on. We are the ones we waiting on. It goes right back to, in my opinion, all of our blueprints, like the Black Panther Party left us the blueprint, how to patrol and protect and provide for our own communities. Why come we ain't got it? Why come we don't have it and we out here protecting and patrolling and providing for our own communities? Everybody else got our stuff but us. It made me feel some type of way. I don't trust nobody. I don't trust them no more. I do not trust nobody no more. Ain't nobody helped us and said, hey, we know what y'all need. We gonna help y'all here. We y'all allies. We the ones can get in there when y'all can't. We finna help y'all learn how to patrol and protect and provide for y'all communities like the Black Panthers wanted y'all to do. No, motherfuckers ain't said nothing to us. We gonna get some organizations, some peoples together and let them go out there and patrol y'all community. What is 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 people? We need a whole community in on it. That's what we needed. That's what we need today. By now, y'all, we would have had other communities that's doing it, like New Era Detroit, how they get out in their communities and stuff. Why come our other communities haven't taken that on? It's brave. It's integrous. It's for us. Everybody just so willing to mislead us. And we willing to let them. We willing to let them. Like they gonna step up and save us. Say, oh, Black people, we got the safety, the shelter for everybody. No, they ain't. Everybody gonna call their own people to safety. And like I said, we're going to be out here in the elements, struggling and surviving the best way we can. But I digress. Right now. Let's read a little bit because, I'm tired myself. It's been a long day, And we right on time anyway. Yeah, we right on time. It take me a minute before I start reading. And I did say tonight I was going to start reading as soon as I got the little scripts out the way. But, I'm just getting used to it, where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do. Oh, thank you, Victor. Yeah, I sure will be checking into it too, I'm sure. But let's read, y'all, because we got a lot to do. I mean, we in the fight too. Vernon John said, if you see a good fight, get in it. Yeah. And Shirley Chisholm, one of her campaigns was unbothered and unbossed. Yeah, can't nobody tell us what to do about us no more. Sure can't. People want us to shut up and stuff. They can't tell us nothing about Black America no more. They done had their chance. Everybody done had their chance. Yeah, they can get out of our way, sit down and shut up. What they need to do is try to save mankind. Try to save mankind. Try to put this fire out in the rest of the world. They damn sure ain't tried to get us out of the burning house. Ain't nobody tried to get us out of the burning house. They ain't tried to put the fire out. Nope. So, that is what it is and stuff. We ain't mad about it or nothing. Hey, just leave us the fuck alone now. Just leave us alone now. That's all folks got to do, and let us try to save our people, because we the only ones that can do it. Yep. I know we don't want to tell white America. I'll tell them. I'll tell them for us. Yep. We got to see our life without them. Black America cannot see our life without white America. We that traumatized. I don't know what activated the cosmos. Probably when they put that big machine up in space and turned it on. I don't know. I have no idea. It could be that, they crossed the cosmic threshold when they assaulted the parent of all people. I mean, when they assaulted the manifestation of the cosmos, that's probably what woke the cosmos up, activated the cosmos. I don't know. I just got here. Literally like 2 months ago. Yep, so I didn't even know myself. But when you start learning and you start reading and stuff, and you give yourself permission to seek the truth, then, it'll be revealed to you. All that cosmic energy up there, y'all, all of them multiverses up there, why are we putting it in a box? That's what I feel like y'all doing. Y'all got it in a little small box, and that's where you keep it at. But I'm telling you, when you do take your ass to heaven, and you see all these racist Klansmen that's up there, because that's where they at. They right here on hell and in heaven. That's as far as they can go. That's as far as they can go. Now, if the sun burning their asses up right there in the first universe, what make you think they can go further? What make you think they can go further? They can't. It's a lie. It is a lie. Well, I ain't got to prove nothing. You tell them to prove. You tell them to prove. They the one got all the proof. They the ones that said it's heaven. Prove that it ain't a multiverse out there then. I know everybody come back and be like, yeah, they came back, had a near-death experience, and said that it was heaven up there. They ain't going to come back and tell you that black people were slaves in heaven, because they know that ain't what people want to hear. They know. They come back and be like, oh, yeah, I had a near-death experience, and I died and came back to heaven. Well, what you see? You see Jesus? Yeah, I saw Jesus. I saw black people. Black people were slaves in heaven and were picking cotton. And people ain't going to believe that. So no, they ain't going to tell it. Shit. Hell, would you? But let's read and stuff. Where were we at last night? Because, we did start a new chapter, a study in the typology of violence. I think that's where we were. Yeah. Because we are in part 3. Yeah, but I did stop. Because I knew if I kept reading, it was going to lead to more little subtitles. Yeah. And so we'll just start right there. I think that's where we were. Race and minority riots, a study in the typology of violence. And that's Typology. I know these are some words I ain't never seen. Because see, when you start reading and learning and stuff, honey, everything just opens up. It's abundance, prosperity in its own right. You see, white folks, white American stuff got us thinking that abundance and prosperity is only financial wealth. Financial wealth ain't even the half of it. Financial wealth ain't even the half of it, honey. That ain't even important. That ain't what we really need. That ain't what we truly need. When we are self-sufficient, Black people, we don't even need their motherfucking money and financial wealth, financial freedom. When we're self-sufficient. When we self-sufficient, we have everything we already need. See, that's what they got us said when they made that documentary, How to Market to a Negro, and made us feel like we need everything. But we don't. That's why we're the number one consumer. Buy everything. We buy everything and don't even need it because they did it on purpose. They did this to us on purpose. Yep. And when I ain't found no other reason why we this way against each other, against ourselves, willingly. I mean, dedicated ignorance. We are willing to be ignorant. Yep, we committed our people, our masses, to being this way. Dr. John Henry Clark, I just shared it a few hours ago, said, are Black people dumbing ourselves down for white America? And I think we are. I think we are. And I think Black people are hard on ourselves and each other, so white America ain't got to do it. We don't know why we this way. We don't know why we this way with us. Because we don't talk about what's done happened to us. We make it seem like, oh, it's because, our father wasn't in the home. We quit school. We ain't in church. We drinking them spirits, smoking that dope. We got all the reasons, all the symptoms, of something that's done happened. But ain't nobody trying to find out, well, what happened? What happened to cause all of this shit? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. I want to know who the hell did it. Who did it? So far, y'all looking at me like it's white America. It looks to me like it's white America. And the other people today, right here today, allegedly 2025, that's condoning and tolerating white America and all their evil, their antics, their manipulations, the systemic racism and stuff. And I mean, common white people were the ones that did this. I'm not saying, this right here got famous people in it. I ain't seen nothing about no famous people in here. These were common white folks. White folk that we'll pass on the street every day and fall in love with, y'all say. That's who this is. That's done did this. If I find out different, hey, I'll say, yeah, I'm mistaken for a long time, but I ain't seen this so far. So let's read. Race and minority rights. Oh, and this here is racial violence in the United States. Yeah, racial violence in the United States. And before this, we read racial violence in Kentucky, 1865 to 1940. However, our very first book was Red Summer. Yeah, our very first book was Red Summer. So see, we making some headway. We making some headway to healing our people and stuff. We learning, I'm condemning. Yeah, I'm condemning. This right here was our first book that we read on this channel right here. So yeah, I thank y'all for y'all patience and your presence too, because I know it take a long time for me. Eventually I won't even be this long and stuff. Can you imagine my videos will be like maybe an hour long like everybody else's? Yeah. But see, I don't really edit nothing. So I'm just going to have to do a natural compacting things down. Yeah. I'm the last one here at the fight. I ain't got time to go through and learn how to edit stuff. And then, hell, I didn't know I was going to be like this. I didn't know we were going to be reading stuff like this. Hell, how am I supposed to act? How am I supposed to act? To be reading about black men being lynched and stabbed and dismembered. How the hell are you supposed to act? You know, I know some people like, damn, there she is finna go off again. What would you do? Would you be so calm and patient reading about so much violence? Just savageness, the ravishness of it. That would make me wonder. Hey, have you read this before? Oh, you just ain't got no feelings. So yeah, you know, I am like I am. You are like you are. But you know, just don't try to judge me for mine and stuff. Cause then I'm gonna be like, shit, I'm not wrong. Shit, your ass the one wrong. You supposed to feel something about this. I do. You know, you ain't got to and stuff, but I do. You know, I don't want us to just be appalled and enraged and stuff. But, you know, I don't want us to be a stoic people anymore. You know, Black America, we can't be a stoic people anymore. We have emotions, feelings. You know, we holding in all this fear and you know, and stress and stuff about white America and going to heaven. And, oh, before I get into this right here, honey, what I wanted to tell you about America, and it's them. It was in their book. See, y'all got y'all Bible and I got mine. Yep, you got your Bible and I got mine. Sure do. These right here are my Bibles. These are my Bibles. I'm going to get a Bible so we can read King James Version and stuff. And them scriptures that I wrote down that I want to know what's going on and stuff. And these right here are my Jesus. My brothers are my Jesus. That's who I think about right there. He ain't in heaven with none of these motherfuckers. Oh, y'all think Willie is in heaven too with these same people? Look at the look on them folks' face. Do you think they got in heaven and decided, oh, that was wrong. We ain't going to be like that no more? For real? Now, that's very gullible. I mean, yeah, they done a number on you. On black people, they done a number on us. Shit, it just matter here. What are we going to do? You going to keep letting it be? But anyway, what I wanted to tell you about, I digress about heaven. William Joseph Simmons, the man in Atlanta, he revived the Ku Klux Klan. I told you about this. He revived the Ku Klux Klan in 1915 on Thanksgiving night, Thanksgiving Day. So while you eating your turkey and stuff, you and your family and stuff, be sure and tell everybody that William Joseph Simmons revived the Ku Klux Klan on this day right here, on this night. Now you got a little bit more. So you can start cooking your Thanksgiving dinner, rename it something else. Thanks dinner, I guess. I don't know. I don't cook it. But you can start doing it different times of the year. You ain't got to wait till Thanksgiving no more. You want you some stuffing, some cranberry sauce and stuff, or ham, that pork that don't, you know, sweat. Then, hey, do it whatever day of the year you want to. Just break out of this holiday cycle. You know, every day of the year is something that keep us distracted. I mean, so many holidays and stuff. I don't even celebrate them no more. You know, no, I ain't got time to be celebrating no birthdays and stuff. I want to see my family and hood grandbabies. Can we get a little love going on here and then I come on home? Yep, Black America. Because once Black America stops celebrating all these holidays, I bet they go away. I bet they go away. People going to hang on to them for a while. And you're going to see a little Christmas tree here and little lights there and stuff. But on the whole, when Black America stop, everybody going to stop. They gonna be like, oh, well, hell, ain't no need putting all this up no more. Black folks ain't doing no more. They ain't spending their money on this no more. We ain't either. Yep. Let's let the sirens go back. But yeah, let's read this right here, and then we're gonna get into our reading. Oh, I understand what you're saying, granddaughter, but y'all can leave at any time you want to. You can, I ain't on nobody's time but mine and my ancestors. Anytime I'm here too long, you can go. Because it'll always be here. I'm done when I'm done. I don't want y'all to think y'all have to wait here for me, honey. My ancestors tell me when to sit down. And when I'm done, then I can get up and go. But now you ain't got to sit here for no 2-3 hours, honey. I sit and look at who I want to look at for hours at a time. But no, I don't ask nobody to do that. I wouldn't even sit here with the destruction of a black civilization that I just started watching. And that's 9 hours long. But I wouldn't even sit here with y'all to watch that. So, honey, as I learn what I'm here to do, y'all ain't got to think you got to be here. You got to stay here this long. You can go, come back. You can go, don't come back. Yeah, don't ever feel like you got to put yourself out for face. Honey, I'm not here for nobody but what my ancestors told me to do. It ain't going to resonate with everybody all the time anyway, and I ain't supposed to. I'm just for the select few. Soon as y'all get that, soon as everybody understand that, then you supposed to move on where you supposed to be. That's how it is. You know, we ain't supposed to get somewhere and just stay there because that's where we supposed to be. No, you supposed to get what you need there. And if it don't resonate and stuff, you supposed to keep moving on till you find what you supposed to, where you supposed to be and where you want to be. See, we get hung up on it and stuff. Yeah, honey. When I open up on 2 people, that's fine. 1 person, that's fine. When I close up on 2 people, 1 people, that's fine with me. I've done what my ancestors told me to do for that day. Yeah, so don't y'all ever feel like, honey, you got to keep coming here and keep coming back and stuff, because you don't. No, you don't. My ancestors take care of me. Yes, my ancestors take care of me and give me everything that I need. So, yeah, this ain't even really about no money. It ain't no price to this. It ain't no price to this. The only reason I want us to, focus on and pay honor to our demand for reparations, because it's a debt that must be paid. It's a debt that must be paid. But I ain't telling my people to hold our breath for it, because it's probably not going to happen. America owes us so much money for what they've done to our ancestors. Everybody might well get the hell up and go back to your mother's, grandmother's, father's mother's land. That's how much is owed. That's how much is owed. So, yeah, family, don't feel like y'all have to sit there and stuff through this, because you don't. You'll see me somewhere else some other time. I'll see you on some other channels and stuff, Yeah, it's all love right here, honey. I'm just for a few. Just a few. Yep, I know this. It's fine with me. Yeah, my ancestors already done told me. And I don't even sweat about nothing like that. But let me tell y'all about William Joseph Simmons. The man, he started out, they said he was a preacher, a minister. He practiced medicine, and then he sold insurance. And now I was thinking, well, then he must have just been a loser, because he failed at all of them. But he was a colonel also when I did some more reading on him. So he was a colonel, in one of the wars and stuff. It was 1915. I'm not good with the chronological order, but 1915, he was a colonel and stuff. But he never succeeded at nothing. So in 1915, he done had a spiritual vision, y'all. This man had a spiritual vision. He heard about the lynching of Leo Frank. He watched Birth of a Nation, and he had this spiritual vision of robed men galloping across the sky. That's what he said. He said he formed the group in response to a spiritual vision of robed horsemen galloping in the sky, followed by a vision of a map of the United States. That's what he said, and that's the KKK galloping across the sky. I don't know. I'm thinking about it some more. Who else could be galloping across the sky? Robed men. But I can't think of no other robed men in history. Robed. I mean, you don't see no judges in their robes on no horses. So the only robed men I could come up with was the KKK. And that's the only robed men that he's affiliated with, because he ended up reviving the KKK because of that spiritual vision. So I want to know, right off the top and stuff, who lying about heaven? Your book or this book? I mean, y'all gonna be in heaven because your book said, your Bible say that's where you need to go at, to heaven and stuff. Who's up there? Shouldn't y'all be asking y'all pastors these things right here? I mean, ain't we supposed to be learning more and seeking more? Why y'all just get to the Bible and stop there? That's what it seemed to me like. Y'all just got to the Bible and stopped there. Y'all don't even, some of us do be mentioning like Yahweh and Yahushua and stuff. But as far as Krishna and Buddha, y'all ain't asked your pastors nothing about the other Christ-like historical figures. Buddha, Krishna, Dionysus. Y'all ain't asked y'all pastors nothing about them. And they supposedly, allegedly, yeah, they got the same history as Jesus Christ. So, this whole heaven thing. How the hell is all of y'all? It's 4,200 religions. How the hell is all y'all going to fit in heaven? I'm just asking, I'm just asking. How is all y'all going to fit in heaven with all these religions right here? We ain't supposed to be in heaven. Black people, children of the sun. You got that whole multiverse right there. Why you going to stop right there in heaven? Because white folks said that's where to go. And in this book right here, see, we don't read nothing. We don't read nothing. Hell, read it to your pastor. See what he got to say. He the one went to school for this. They didn't teach him nothing past that. You mean to tell me the pastor, his mind is stuck. His mind stuck right there too. Well, hell, shit. All of y'all might as well do some new studying. Do some new studying. With new times, we got to keep up with the times, right? Why are you going to take this old knowledge and try to apply it to the newness? I know the Bible said, God said he stay the same and it never changes and stuff, but times is changing. Your thought processes must change. But as long as you stuck in this, the true purpose of religion, which is to stop your thought process, as long as you stuck in it, you ain't really thinking. You're not analyzing. You're not critically thinking. You're not pondering, questioning, wondering. So, see, I just want to know about heaven and stuff. Who lying? Who the hell is lying? Because I'm here to tell my people, go past heaven. Just bypass heaven altogether. Yep. Just bypass heaven altogether. Because Emmett Till is not up there with Carolyn Bryan now. Ain't none of our ancestors up there. No, the only ones that's in heaven with these white people right here are the ones that's wrapped up in religion. And they couldn't see. Even if someone was telling them and teaching them, Dr. Ray Hagins couldn't even get through to all of them. They were like, oh, well, he on something new and stuff. I don't listen to him no more. Because they were stuck off in this right here. They didn't want to hear about the rest of the knowledge, that was available. So, yeah, they asses is stuck in heaven with these same people right here. And they can't get out. Ain't that what they said heaven was? Forever and ever and ever and ever. And y'all asses want to go there? You can't get out? What, you behind the pearly white gates? That's what they said is the pearly white gates. When I was a little girl, I seen a white man standing in front of the pearly white gates. That's why, hell, my whole life, hell, I thought that Jesus was white. We thought that. That's who we saw. The book said one thing, and we hardly ever read it, I mean, it's in the book, it's in the Bible, people know it's there and stuff, but people should have been repetitiously teaching that and then take that white man off the wall because, see, it was too conflicting for Black America. And the religion won out. The religion won. We don't analyze, we don't think, we don't question. We feel like it's blaspheming, when we question what's really out there. But it's not blaspheming. No, your higher power wants you to know. Your higher power needs you to know that you can go further than heaven, Black America. You don't have to trap yourself in heaven if you don't want to. You sure don't. You can go further than heaven. I'm going to the 12th. I'm going to the 12th universe. The 12th or never. Yep. I'm going to the 12th of never, just like the earth, wind, and fire said. Yeah, I'm not going to heaven. Y'all going by y'allself. I mean, we just got to start thinking and stuff. I know it don't seem like it's true. It don't seem like it real. It don't even make sense. But hell, none of the shit they taught us made sense. Ain't nothing we done learned from white America ever made sense. Not to me. It ain't never resonated. It ain't never made sense. That's probably why hell I fell in, in so much distractive things in life and stuff. Because hell, wasn't nothing ever resonating. The education wasn't, and I felt like, it was my fault and stuff. I didn't try hard enough and stuff, but it was designed like this. It's designed like this for all of us. We got to be really, really dedicated to studying and learning. Because if we're not, something going to get our attention. And when it do get our attention and stuff, we won't be giving it to us no more. That's how I feel. So let's read. That's why I'm here, to find out what's going to happen to Black America. Because we can't continue like this no more. So let's read. Race and Minority Riots, a study in the typology of violence. A constructed type is an exaggeration of actuality. Certain aspects of an historical event are abstracted in accordance with certain hypotheses. In this study, we will attempt to delineate delineate. Delineate. We will attempt to delineate a pattern of social action in which violence is one of the essential attributes by asking, what are the essential elements of a race or minority riot? I'm thinking, did I read this already? But it don't matter because I don't start. I'm going to go ahead anyway. It's the beginning of a new subtitle. So, what are the essential elements of a race or a minority riot? Under what conditions do these elements combine to produce the series of actions in the total event, which is labeled a riot? The underlying assumption in this study is the principle that valuations of the person and of the group organize social relations. Such valuations have been characterized as a personal or categoric, intrinsic or extrinsic, and that's Hiller, Hiller, 1947, pages 191 to 218, and pages 631 to 650. In those instances were intrinsic valuations in terms of respect, accountability, and inviolability, inviolability, are withheld. Social relations are utilitarian, utilitarian, or disassociative. When I ain't been reading this stuff and then I get back to reading these books right here, the words seem even bigger. Because some of them are new words and stuff, they're not part of my natural vocabulary, my daily vocabulary, but it's all good, it's all just learning. Yeah. Such social relations are reinforced if the content of the extrinsic categorizations is negative. These assessments, moreover, may be of long historical standing, a fact frequently overlooked, and they may become strengthened in a period of transition. When a series of negative evaluations impinges upon a group, then its situation, in the absence of mitigating norms of justice and humanitarianism, humanitarianism. Yeah. You got like humanitarian, but it's humanitarianism. humanitarianism. Humanitarianism becomes extremely precarious. Violent expression of disesteem on the part of the superordinate group may readily result. Violence is more likely to occur when the minority group is not content to accept the assignment of low rank from the so-called majority group, and when it attempts a redefinition of the situation, which will bring about assimilation or at least equal status without assimilation. This means that a redistribution of power and of opportunities is to be effected. This struggle will bring forth the opposition of the superordinate group. Yeah, so I guess they're saying that's when white folks get mad. Yeah. When black folks feel like, they don't want to accept, the bullshit no more. They ready for change. They fight for change. They holding out for change. And, I guess that's when white America gets upset. Because it said violence is more likely to occur when the minority group is not content to accept the assignment of low rank from the so-called majority group. Instead of defining the term riot and then finding examples to illustrate the definition, we shall examine two historical events which have been defined by participants and bystanders as riots. And now we know that they were massacres. The construction of a riot type obviously could involve many more instances. Improvement and modification of the construct arrived at in this preliminary study could be made by reference to the Nazi persecution of Jews and other groups. Let's read that again. The construction of a riot type obviously could involve many more instances. Improvement and modification of the construct arrived at in this preliminary study could be made by reference to the Nazi persecution of Jews and other groups. Polish pogroms, Pogroms, Polish pogroms, and the Armenian pogrom in Turkey. The Huguenot massacre in France, the Luddite riots in England, the recent riots in the Union of South Africa, communal riots in India, riots against Protestants in Mexico, the Zoot Suit riots in California, and others. So see, it ain't even just here where these massacres have taken place. So all of these other massacres and stuff, like say the Luddite riots, massacres in England, and the recent riots in the Union of South Africa and stuff, all these other riots and stuff, the Nazi, the riots, the massacres, they received healing. Because we haven't received healing here for all of these riots, these massacres. Black America haven't even seen or heard about no healing for us, no therapy. But let's read. Maybe it is going to tell us historical conditions. Kishinev riot of 1903, and that's Kishinev. Kishinev riot of 1903. A Russian official stated the case against the Jews as follows. What can we do with them? They are the racial antithesis of our nation. A fusion with us is impossible, owing to religious and other disturbances, owing to religious and other disturbing causes. They will always be a potential source of sectarian and economic disorder in our country. We cannot admit them to equal rights of citizenships for this reason, and let me add, because their intellectual superiority would enable them to gain possession of most of the posts of the civil administration. They are the active propagandists of the socialism of Western Europe in our borders. Their discontent is a menace to us along the Australian and German frontiers. The only solution to the problem of the Russian Jew is departure from Russia. And that's M. David, D-A-V-I-T-T, 1903, pages 65 to 66. In this statement, there is a fairly complete negative assessment of the Jew. Various groups shared and supported this extreme disesteem, the government and especially the lower-ranking officials of the political bureaucracy. The Russian Orthodox Church, which was the established church, students and seminarists in the royal schools and gymnasia, the small merchant, petty trader, and the working man. This assessment, moreover, became institutionalized in a great variety of discriminatory statutes and administrative decrees, D-E-C-R-E-E-S. In the royal schools and gymnasia, Jews were restricted to 5% or 10% of the total school population. From 1882 to 1903, a series of laws and administrative decrees limited property holding among Jews, restricted access to occupations, restricted education, forced unequal military service, and segregated them to the so-called Pale of Settlement. The law, plus numerous local administrative decrees, inhibited the economic and social development of the Jews. They furthermore made Jews prey to the exactions, exactions, to the exactions of local petty officials and police. The Sous Prefect, Sousprefect, Prefect, the Sous Prefect of Police in Bessarabia, Bessarabia, the Sous Prefect of the Police in Bessarabia, in which Kishinev is located, apparently was an expert at this. The May Law of 1882, which segregated all Jews to the Pale from the land and villages to the towns, was not put into full effect until 1891. When the procurator of the Holy Synod, that's Synod, M. Podedonestell, that's Podedonestell, forced the issuance of the imperial decree compelling the enforcement of the 1882 laws. Many of the flyers distributed around Kishinev advocating violence against Jews were printed by the press of the Holy Synod of St. Petersburg and passed by the church censor. Putting into effect the May Law of 1882 had certain population and social consequences. These laws required that all Jews settle within the Pale, a series of provinces along the western frontier extending from Riga, Riga, to the Black Sea. These laws also excluded from agriculture all Jews except those already so engaged. Confined to the towns, the Jews had recourse only to industrial, service, and trade opportunities. Since Russia at this time was in the process of becoming industrialized, occupational opportunities in industry were relatively meager. It has been estimated that 1,300,000 Jews, or about 1/3 of the total Jewish population, were forced from the land and villages into the towns. And that's Kulischer, 1943, page 23. And that's Kulischer. 3 out of 5 inhabitants in urban centers of the Pale provinces were Jews. That's David, 1903, page 38. In Bessarabia, Jews composed 38% of the population. This population influence tended to increase the struggle for self-maintenance for both Jews and non-Jews, particularly among the small shopkeepers, petty middlemen, and artisans. Jews resorted to almost any means to keep themselves on a bare subsistence level. To do so, they had to resort to extra-legal and illegal means, which augmented the parasitic demands of police and other officials in the bureaucracy. Extensive smuggling, for example, was one means and became so prevalent, including the entailed bribery and corruption, that Jews were forbidden to live within a stretch 35 to 40 miles from the western frontier. Not only were Jews segregated by being forced to live in the Pale, but they also tended to live in special districts within the urban centers. The local segregation apparently was on economic lines, with poor Jewish traders, shopkeepers, and laborers living close together, like in shacks. That's the only time I can see when houses are close together. When it's poverty. You ain't got a lot of room, a lot of space. But I digress. Let's read. The more wealthy Jewish merchants and bankers had residences in the better sections of the towns. Such concentration of despised populations limits to a few focal points. Such concentration of despised population limits to a few focal points the outbreak of violent attacks. A traditional anti-Jewish story, which was a very important element in the Kishinev riot, was the murder ritual legend. Damn, I spilled my water. Whoa, was the murder. And I lost my place. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I spilled all my water on my foot. Yeah, it spilled. That's all right, though. Let me just find my place. So I guess we learned about a little bit more than in the United States, and that's a good thing because we want to progress. I do. I want to progress through this. Okay. I'm going to start at the beginning. A traditional anti-Jewish story, which was a very important element in the Kishinev riot, was the murder ritual legend. This originated in the middle of the 13th century and spread all over Europe. This legend held that there was an annual killing of Christian children by Jews as part of the blood atonement in Hebrew Paschal rites, Paschal. That'll be Bloch, Bloch, 1922, pages 611 to 634 if you want to look it up. The story emphasized the outgroup nature of the Jew and evidently was firmly established in the cultures of Europe despite Jewish efforts to disavow it. Social unrest existing in many groups in Russia at this time was attacked by the government with increasingly repressive measures. Although Jews played a role in certain movements and demonstrations, their role was exaggerated by constituted authorities as the dominant role. This repressive role of the government was expressed in the tremendous increase in death sentences for political activities, deportation to Siberia, and other tactics. And that's Die Jugendpogrom, or Die Jugendpogrom, DIEJUDENPOGROME. 1910, pages 231, and footnote is page 232. The fiasco of the Russo-Japanese War brought out the inefficiency and corruption of the government. In this situation, Jews furnished a convenient scapegoat. Pogroms were not new in Russia, and that's POGROMS. I see that a lot, but it was a new word too. There were two large pogrom periods, the first from 1881 to 1883, and the second from 1903 to 1906. The first period involved 8 provinces and 224 pogroms, and the second involved 12 provinces and 690 pogroms. And that's Die Judenpogrom, I, pages 189 and then pages 190 to 191. Kishinev ushered in the pogroms on the second period. Local pogroms had taken place as early as 1821 in Odessa, Odessa. Several isolated pogroms took place between 1884 and the second major period, Die Judenpogrom, pages 14 through 15. A pattern of violence against Jews was evidently an integral part of the culture. Sound familiar? A pattern of violence against the Jews was evidently an integral part of the culture. Like the pattern of violence that white America has against Black America. Yep, it's an integral part of their culture. It ain't happened in a while like, it has been escalated to happen, but it's still ongoing. It's still ongoing, and at any moment now, it will show itself again. At any moment now. And where the therapy that they've had, where's the anger management that they've had? We are fooled to think that, it will never happen again. Let's read. Detroit riot of 1943. The Negro came in large numbers to Detroit during tense periods, World War I and World War II. The town itself had grown meteorically, METEORICALLY, particularly after the establishment of the automobile industry. It had a large foreign-born population, including a strongly anti-Negro Polish district of around 50,000 people, and all of them was anti-Negro. Whoa, it was estimated that 50,000 Negroes migrated to Detroit between June 1940 and June 1943, resulting in a total Negro population of about 210,000. An estimated 500,000 Southern whites were living in Detroit and adjacent areas. And that's Brown, 1944, page 506. The Bureau of Census Series, CA-3, 1944, pages 7 through 8. The non-white population was 11% of the city's population in 1940 and 13% in 1944. The influx of Negroes and Southern whites into Detroit is similar to the migration of the Jews into the Pale, except that the American migration was largely unplanned, except for the labor recruiting programs for corporations. Just as Jews were concentrated in their ghetto in Kishinev, the Negroes were jammed into their 30-block ghetto of Paradise Valley. This area, congested for years, had to bear the brunt of the wartime influx and increase in population of around 33%. That the Negro was not content with this type of living was expressed in his effort to secure federal housing, and this attempt culminated in the Sojourner Truth Project. Bad housing, however, was not merely a Negro problem. Competition for services in housing, transportation, recreation, education, the problem of the cost of living were common to all. All these factors, compounded with the tensions and anxieties of the war, may have interacted to lower the threshold of control and excitability. The struggle for the allocation of goods and services may have intensified the unstable relation of domination and unwilling submission between whites and Negroes. The Negro coming to the North discovered shackles slightly less onerous than those he was trying to escape. Bontemps, Bontemps, Bontemps and Conroy, 1945, pages 147 to 162, and 213 to 239. He found himself living among groups emphasizing emotionality and hate. The apocalyptic religion, that's what it says, the apocalyptic religion of the South found expression in numerous small groups. Brown estimated about 2,500 active Southern-born evangelists, and that's OP period, CIT period, page 8, if you want to look it up. In addition to the small fry evangelists, there were the blood, sweat, and fear virtuosos, such as the Reverend Gerald L.K. Smith, the Reverend J. Frank Norris, the pistol-packing parson, and others. Of the many non-religious groups indulging in violence, threats, and expressions of hate, the most notorious was the Black Legion. They were a KKK group or a subgroup or one of their main groups. I remember hearing their name. When this group was broken up under the FBI investigation, it diversified into many other groups, such as the Black Guards, Bullet Club, and Modern Patriots. Bontemps and Conroy, 1943, pages 224. Carson, 1943 and 1946. And then, somebody was made mention of on the cartoon SpongeBob, the pirate. SpongeBob was underwater and stuff. Something about the pirate. Because I didn't even know that they had a clan subgroup named the Pirates. But they did, and then they just mentioned it here. But I forgot what it was somebody was mentioning about that pilot, the pirate in the cartoon SpongeBob. I never really get into SpongeBob like that. But yeah, it's worth noting, I guess. Everything is. Because they put a lot of stuff right in front of us in movies and cartoons and, and it's right there for us to know, but we don't think about it like that. So that's why it don't resonate. Relations between Negroes and city officials, especially police officers, were unfavorable. There was a negative relation with those Negro leaders who endeavored to improve the lot of their group, and an essentially corrupt and parasitic relation with those Negroes involved in the policy and numbers racket. Negro arrest and treatment by police also developed mutual attitudes of suspicion and fear. Discussing the 1943 riot, Commissioner of Police Witherspoon frequently referred to this hostile relation between his departure and the Negro, the perpetuation of which he blamed on the Negro. And that's Lee and Humphrey, 1943, page 53. Lynchings are almost past history in this country, but riots are not, and they may, in the future, substitute for lynchings. Lynchings are almost past history in this country, but riots are not, and they may, in the future, substitute for lynchings. The struggle with regard to superordination and subordination is thus carried from the country into the urban centers, where it continues on a group rather than on an individual basis. The first series of major riots involving the Negro occurred during the period of World War I, with riots in Chicago, 1919, East St. Louis, 1917, and Washington, D.C., 1919. Detroit had a minor riot over Negroes in the Sweet case, 1936. Harlem broke loose in 1935 and in 1943. It was during the Second World War that relations between whites and non-whites became much worse. The Negro Handbook, that's Murray, Murray, 1944. The Negro Handbook lists 7 military riots, several civilian riots, and 3 industrial hate strikes or sit-downs in 1942. In 1943, 5 military riots, 9 civilian riots, 5 industrial hate strikes and or riots. Mass violence against the Negro and others was nothing new to this country. Yeah, I'm going to look up those riots. Events leading to the riot in Kishinev. The vice governor of Bessarabia conducted an informal and active persecution of Jews on his own account for several years prior to the 1903 pogrom. He and his sub-officials traveled from Bessarabia, and under any pretext or excuse or interpretation of laws and administrative decrees, they would extort money from the Jews, close their business or synagogue, and drive them away. Vice Governor Ostrogoff, Ostrogoff, thus gave an apparent official sanction to Jewish persecution, and his attitude and actions encouraged the lower ranks of the bureaucracy to indulge in petty persecutions of their own. The accusation of ritual murder was made once in 1902 and twice in 1903. The local paper had to print a retraction of its charges, but the retraction implied that Jews were securing special privilege and protection in their attacks on the Christians. Fearing outbreaks, the rabbi of Kishinev asked the leading Greek bishop to issue an episcopal assurance that Jews did not practice ritual murder and that Jews were not responsible for the local deaths. The bishop refused, implying that there was some Semitic sects that did not practice such a ritual. Six years before the riot, the local paper was revived as a most violent anti-Semitic paper. As censor, the vice governor Ostrogoff, a regular contributor under a pseudonym, could have curtailed the paper's violence on grounds of public safety and welfare. For 5 years, the Bessarabians fulminated against the Jews as swindlers, liars, parasites, and exploiters of the Christian population, ritual murderers, etc., and continuously continuously called upon the Christian population to rise and strike down the Jews. Since it was the only paper in Kishinev, counter-propaganda by the Jews was almost impossible. Articles in the paper were directed to the police, the soldiers, the working men, the seminaries, and to the minor employees of the post office, the telegraph, and other public departments. Articles were headed, "Death to the Jews," "Crusade against the hated race," "Down with the disseminators of socialism." The editors of the paper also organized a pure Christian welfare society. Its members brought weapons and printed handbills and posters, which were distributed in great quantities. One of these stated that on the basis of an UKASE of the SAR, TSAR, Christians were permitted to hold a judgment of blood over Jews during the 3 Easter holidays. In Detroit, contributing to the development of the riot of 1943 was a series of minor riots. During 1941, there was an anti-Negro strike at the Ford River Rouge plant, a student strike and fracas against Negroes at the Northwestern High School, and a series of fights between Polish youths and Negroes. The Soldier of Truth Project riot occurred in 1942. Federal troops guarded the entrance of Negroes into this housing project. This riot was not wholly spontaneous and unplanned. It was planned. This riot was not wholly spontaneous and unplanned. Local authorities, moreover, did not push an investigation, and no convictions resulted from detained key persons. Between March and the end of May 1943, there were hate strikes against Negroes in 5 different industrial plants. In the next month, the major riot broke out. Duration of the riot? In Kishinev, from noon Sunday, April the 5th from noon Sunday, April the 5th to Monday, 5 o'clock p.m., April the 6th. In Detroit, from Sunday, 10:30 p.m., June the 20th to Monday, 11 p.m., June the 21st. Personnel. In Kishinev, rioters included soldiers, policemen, civil servants, priests, peasants, laborers, students, and seminarians, petite bourgeois, and a group of imported pug uglies. Members of polite society, professional groups, and upper bourgeois. What is that word? Bougie. Yeah. And upper bourgeois participated primarily as spectators, but at times taking some of the loot, at times encouraging the rioters. With few exceptions, soldiers and policemen sided with the rioters. With few exceptions, peasants were especially imported from the countryside to participate in the riots. Rioters were predominantly from lower strata, and their attacks were directed primarily against lower strata and moderately wealthy Jews. Rich Jews purchased immunity with bribes paid to both military and police officials. Actual leaders of the riots were youths in the late teen ages and early 20s. So the rich Jews was able to pay, just like in the drafts. Yep, just like in the drafts. And the draft was in New York, I think, New York City, the New York draft riots. And the rich people was able to go pay off the draft, representatives and stuff, because they didn't want to be drafted. But the poor people, the poor white people, and I think it said it was some Irishmen there, they weren't able to pay off, so they had to be drafted. And everybody was pissed off about it, especially when the white woman got to complaining, because, hey, why we can't pay it off? But hell, we ain't got no money to pay it off and stuff. Karen, what are you talking about? Well, what about when you go over here and you guys go over here and you help free the Negro man, the black man, and he come over here and take your jobs. So, white folks got upset about that. And everybody just went from being upset about being drafted. Because they were like, no, we can't fight for Negroes. All of a sudden, they were just like, no, we ain't going to fight for their freedom. We don't want to. Why do we have to sacrifice? And, and then they just turned and got upset at black people. Because black people, depended on them and needed help. And that's how that massacre started, the draft riots. That's what it seemed like to me. All right, now Detroit. Both Negro and white were rioters. Both sexes were included, though the greatest proportion was male. According to the prosecutor's report, 35% detained in the riot were under 21 years and 63% under 31 years. Of detained Negroes, 23% were under 21 years, and of white, 48% were under 21 years. And that's Lee and Humphrey, 1943, page 82. Youthful whites were also the leaders of mob groups, egged on in many cases by vociferous, vociferous, by vociferous white females. Youthful whites were also the leaders of mob groups, egged on in many cases by vociferous white females. Police were either helpless or negligent, and on the whole, took the side of the whites as demonstrated in the ratio of arrests. 12 Negroes to 1 white, and that's Mary, 1944, page 44. Organization of the riot. In Kishinev, the pogrom was organized by a group of citizens of Kishinev with the tacit approval and support of governmental officials. Actual leaders of the riots were students and seminarists disguised as laborers and strangers. The riot began when a gang of 10 to 15-year-old boys began to attack and molest Jews to test the reaction of the police. Since the police merely dispersed the gang without making any arrests, the action was interpreted favorably. 3 hours later, about 200 men wearing red shirts, a working class symbol, split up into 24 sections composed of 10 to 15 men. Jewish quarters were then attacked simultaneously in 24 parts of the city. The first effort was directed to the looting and destruction of Jewish homes and shops. In the evening, a group of peasants was imported. Then all Jewish homes and stores were marked with white chalk, a process in which some policemen assisted. A system of communication between the various gangs was established with students and seminarists on bicycles. A new attack began at 3:00 a.m. on Monday. The gangs were composed of 10 to 20 persons, these numbers occasionally swelling to 80 or 100 people. This time, not only looting, destruction, and plundering took place, but attacks on persons of all ages and sexes, murder, beating, and rape became common among the riot, gradually played out, and martial law was declared. That's what it said. This time, not only looting, destruction, and plundering took place, but attacks on persons of all ages and sexes, murder, beating, and rape became common until the riot gradually played out and martial law was declared. In Detroit, that was Kishinev. In Detroit, the most accepted version is that the riot was precipitated by a fist fight between a Negro and a white man at Belle Isle. The major part of the rioting was concentrated in a 2-mile area. In this riot, crowds of white people and crowds of Negro people fought each other, or an individual of either color would be set upon by a group of the opposite color. Looting, plundering, and pillaging involved both white and Negro stores. Some stores, however, were in the Negro area. Since Negroes were so concentrated, whites marched and rode in from other areas of the city to participate in the rioting. Groups gathered at streetcar lines, theaters, schools, and other strategic points. Actual leadership was taken over by teenage boys who were egged on by the older men. Pitched battles were fought between police and Negroes, one at the Fraser Hotel and the other at a 3-story apartment building. Methods of control in Kishinev. The Jews tried unsuccessfully to secure the intervention of officials and of the Greek bishop in curtailing rumors and the attacks of the Bessarabetes. Bessarabets, Bessarabets. Provincial officials grudgingly agreed to furnish some protection. City officials ignored the requests of Jewish delegations, even though the criminal code granted the governor discretion to use soldiers as a supplementary force to the police. An appeal to him on the morning of the riot was fruitless. His excuse was that he had received no order from Petersburg to use troops. The governor then forbade the sending of private telegrams and turned over the administration of the province to his assistant, Ostrogov. A telegram finally declaring martial law arrived too late. In Detroit, as in Kishinev, the police were either helpless, negligent, or actual participants in furthering the riots. Efforts of the police were predominantly directed against the Negro. Press and radio reports added to the general excitement rather than endeavoring to induce calm. Appeals by Major Jeffries, small neighborhood groups, Negro pastors, and leading labor officials came to nothing. Rioting stopped only when federal troops went into action. The securing of federal troops was unduly delayed because the governor did not want to declare martial law, and state and city officials were hazy as to the procedure in securing troops. Police leadership appeared equally inept. The police commissioner refused to swear in Negro deputies and declared the riot under control when it was actually becoming worse. All right, the results. In Kishinev, killed was 44 people, seriously wounded and injured, 583, houses wrecked, 700, shops and small stores looted and damaged, 600, people requiring relief, 10,000, families ruined in business and unemployment, 2,000. The economic activities of the town were almost paralyzed for several days. Ensuing trials did not result in any marked convictions. Judges and the state's attorney put all blame on the Jews. Official statements by the Russian government also placed all the blame on the Jews. In Detroit, killed was 34, 25 Negroes, of which 17 were killed by the police. Several hundred persons, more or less, seriously wounded. $2 million worth of property damage. All official government reports, whether issued by the city or state government, blame the Negroes for causing the riot. They also exonerated the police and state militia and the city and state officials for the way in which they handled the riot. Conclusion. We conclude that if the conditions specified below are present, then the likelihood of rioting and violence is very high. If there is an alteration in any of these conditions, the likelihood is less, and it is even less if several of these phases are absent. Number one, historical context. A transitional period such as industrialization or a period involving unusual stresses and strains, such as a major war. Within this period, considerable horizontal and vertical mobility, a history of violence against the subordinate group. Number two, the role of the subordinate group. An outstanding trait or characteristic, such as religion or color, which serves as a focal point for negative assessments and minor constellations of value judgments and traditional negative beliefs. The subordinate group is regarded as an undesirable competitor for services, goods, control of market, and the allocation of occupations. The group is officially or unofficially segregated. The group is engaged in a struggle for subsistence or is struggling to improve its status against historical traditions and controls which hold it in an inferior status. Number 3, the role of established authorities and law. Law assigns the minority group a second or third rate role as citizens, and the group attempts to change this legal status. Violence or incipient violence, incipient, or incipient violence on the part of constituted authorities is either officially approved or tacitly supported either on top levels or in some lower ranks where such sponsorship may be open and unabashed. There is a relation of hatred and suspicion between minority group and authorities, and a pattern of petty exaction, bribery, and corruption. Authorities do not want to assume responsibility for control of a riot, or there is administrative confusion as to the control of a riot. Number 4, the role of associations. There are one or more associations whose major function is devoted to propaganda, defamation, and advocacy of violence against the minority group. Number 5, role of press and other means of communication. The press, as official or covert policy, indulges in race minority baiting, or in general reports the group in an unfavorable way, reinforces prevailing negative assessments. The minority does not have or has limited access to the agencies of mass contact, particularly those reaching the members of the dominant group. Number 6, personnel. Upper class, professionals, and more wealthy merchants contribute indirectly through the circulation of rumors, and some may participate more actively in the organization of a riot if they have an opportunity to gain by the elimination of competition. As a rule, they will be morbid bystanders or by voice and gesture encourage rioters. Students and marginal employed workers in the late teens and early 20s are the leaders and active participants. In older youth phenomenon, older rioters are primarily of the same social stratum as those against whom they are rioting. Laborers against laborers, shopkeepers against shopkeepers, etc., etc. In a general way, we know already the major phases given above. Oh, let me see what this is. Move, baby, shit. Oh, that's just the freezer. I was gonna say, what is that shit? That's just the freezer. Yeah, I guess it's just cooling itself off, right? All right, let's read now, because I'm like, shit, what is that? It ain't never done that before. I hope it ain't trying to play out there. Okay, where was we at? Yeah, I'm gonna run up out of here again, shoot. Personnel. Upper class, professionals, and more wealthy merchants contribute indirectly through the circulation of rumors, and some may participate more actively in the organization of a riot if they have an opportunity to gain by the elimination of competition. As a rule, they will be morbid bystanders or by voice and gesture encourage rioters. Students and marginal employed workers in the late teens and early 20s are the leaders and active participants. An older youth phenomenon. Older riots are primarily of the same social stratum as those against whom they are rioting. Laborers against laborers, shopkeepers against shopkeepers, etc., etc. In a general way, we know already the major phases given above from some studies made of riots in our country. But many of these studies deal with one incident. The significance of the cross-cultural comparison lies in a check on these findings, and this comparison corroborates them. The race minority riot as a type consists of the 6 enumerated points. The construct refers to a confluence of actions that end in violence. It is the working together of these various actions that logically culminates in a riot. These actions expressed in the many propositions about a riot pattern can be subsumed, SUBSUMED, can be subsumed under three principles of social interaction. We understand and explain riots and the interrelation of these principles. 1, deliberately maintain opposite inclinations. 2, the augmentation of negative relations. 3, dissociative, 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 complementary, dissociative complementary inclinations. Wow. Yeah. It says dissociative complementary inclinations. That's what it says. Hiller, 1947, pages 179 and 180. These relations are buttressed, BUTTRESSED. These relations are buttressed by negative extrinsic valuations and the withholding of intrinsic valuations. These relations are buttressed by negative extrinsic valuations and the withholding of intrinsic valuations. When these apply to the racial or minority groups within a particular society, one possible and very likely consequence is a riot. Yeah, this is reading. This is reading. There are no pages here. Huge words. I need a library, but I think I'm gonna call it a night here because I'm tired. I'm sleepy. Yeah. Ooh. The Zoot effect. I think I can go one more. Y'all can go if y'all need to. I'm just gonna go one more because I'm gonna read tomorrow on the Zoot effect and personality, a race riot participant. All I remember is the Zoot suits when I used to look at Malcolm X. You know, some psychological factors in Negro race hatred and in anti-Negro riots. In this paper, I shall make no attempt to explain fully the phenomena of race antagonism and of race hatred, since I feel myself inadequate to this task. A complicated and deeply rooted phenomenon, such as that as race hatred, has multiple causes, many of them in the sociological and economic fields, and I am not able to deal with this problem from these angles. The excellent study of Gunnar Myrdal, GUNNARMYRDAL, and America Dilemma show the complexity of the phenomenon and multiplicity of those factors that produce it and illuminate its importance. My contribution will be limited to the psychological field. The material was gathered from patients, particularly during the Negro race riots in Detroit during June of 1943. This clinical material obtained from analysis, together with well-known facts concerning the race riots, made it possible to draw conclusions as to some deeper and unconscious motivations which led to the constant antagonism against Negroes on the part of many white people, as well as to the exacerbation into the form of the group psychological phenomenon of the Negro race riots, as well as to the exacerbation into the form of the group psychological phenomenon of the Negro race riots. The results fitted so well into the hypothesis that psychoanalysis, or rather Freud, what's his name? Freud, had developed. The results fitted so well into the hypothesis that psychoanalysis, or rather Freud, had developed with regard to the origin of human groups, that the communication of these observations and thoughts seemed further justified from the theoretical standpoint. From the clinical material obtained in our practical analytical work, we are forced to conclude that the negative attitude toward Negroes has a twofold origin, and that it therefore manifests itself in two different forms of hatred and aggression. The first form is the constant and general antagonism against the Negroes and includes all members of the race. It is expressed in the general trend of many white people to draw the color line. In other words, either to keep or drive the Negro out of the community, out of the social circle, out of particular jobs or out of certain localities. Negroes are considered, or better, experienced emotionally as unwelcome intruders. The mere idea that they could be accepted by members of the social group to which the antagonistic white person belongs creates horror and most irrational and violent reactions, which, through their very violence and lack of reason, betray their origin in parts of the mind that are not controlled by reason, consideration, and altruism, but by vehement, impetuous desires such as we find in the unconscious or the ID, that cauldron of seething excitement. And that's Freud, Freud, a new series of introductory levels on psychoanalysis. Honey, when it mentioned the American Dilemma, could that be the author of the American Dilemma, the 1,408-page study on genocide, the American Dilemma? Because that's what it is, the American Dilemma, the Negro problem, and modern democracy, too. And it's 1,408 pages of genocide. But you know, I didn't write down the author. I'm going to put his name on this piece of paper. Hold on just a minute, y'all, because he just might be the author. Didn't we just read about this last night? I said it's the largest study on Black America. It was produced in 1944, the publication was. It was commissioned during the Roosevelt administration, financed by the Carnegie Foundation, and organized by a Swedish-born author. And his name do sound Swedish. I mean, I ain't never heard it before, Gunnar Myrdal. And if you want to look it up, that's GUNNARMYRDAL. He might be the author. I don't know. I'm just going to look him up when I get a chance and just see. But it is an American Dilemma in this book. But let's read. Yeah, we just going to read this little bit right here, y'all. I'm reading fast, too. And see, look. We just got them 2 pages right there. We just going to read it real fast and get through it and stuff. All right, let's read. Locked up through repression and preserved through the lack of participation in the development of the rest of the personality, these desires retain in the unconscious their infantile character and aims, since the main repressions to take place in early childhood. The primitive mechanism of displacement, the substitution of another object for that originally tied up with the infantile emotional desire, enables the repressed tendencies, even in the adult person, to find some outlet with the substitute object. The rationality and impetuosity of the emotional reaction, and the flimsy rationalizations by which it is explained are indications of its infantile origin in the subconscious, in the unconscious. We know of a specific infantile reaction that shows this characteristic of intense hostility and this tendency to keep out or drive out, which is reenacted with Negroes as substitute objects. It is the reaction to the arrival of a newcomer into the family, an infant brother or sister. The older child develops extreme jealousy of the younger sibling, often openly showing his disapproval or his hatred and disgust, and has only one desire: to do away with the newcomer or to shut him out from acceptance by the family. Whoever has observed children or has analyzed adults and their infantile reactions to younger siblings as they are preserved in the unconscious is deeply impressed by the intensity of the negative reaction of the older child to the new member of the family. It often expresses itself in direct aggression with the baby, and only gradually and not without repeated relapses is this jealousy overcome and replaced by more friendly feelings. The hostility is repressed, but preserved in the unconscious, and then directed against the Negroes as a substitute object. Oh. The hostility is repressed, but preserved in the unconscious, and then directed against the Negroes as a substitute object. In this respect, the Negroes signify younger siblings. As such as they are unwelcome, and every attempt is made to keep them out of the social group of white people, which represents an enlarged family. Out of the many dreams of patience I choose, two which are very revealing in this respect. The first patient's dream occurred at a time when his hostility against his younger brother was the main subject of the analytic investigation, and it ran as follows. The patient is in his parents' house. A group of Negroes are attacking the house and are ready to set it on fire. This danger is all of a sudden removed by a magical procedure. The Negroes are all transformed into small balls of protoplasm, which are contained in a bottle, so that they can easily be disposed of by emptying the bottle into the sink. It can easily be recognized that the Negroes are reconverted into ovula in the womb, and the dreamer indicates that in this way he can get rid of them, in that the womb is empty. Their significance as younger siblings is clear from the dream and from the analytic material of sibling rivalry during which the dream occurred. The second patient's dream occurred at a time when the patient had signed affidavits for a refugee family in Europe who were distant relatives of his, so that they could obtain immigration visas for the United States. He felt obliged to do this at the request of his family, but inwardly he resented it and was afraid that his dominating position in the family might be threatened, since this refugee family consisted of the patient's family. After signing the affidavits, the patient dreamed this. A big boat approaches New York Harbor. The patient is on a small raft nearby. Some Negroes jump from the porthole of the boat into the water. The patient drives his raft towards them and crushes the Negroes between his raft and the side of the big boat. The patient, who was the oldest of 6 children, had in his childhood reacted with violently aggressive wishes against each of his newly arrived siblings. The big ship symbolizes the mother's body, while the jumping into the water typically signifies giving birth to a younger sibling, represented in the dream by Negroes. The patient was a violent Negro hater. The newcomers, his younger siblings and Negroes, can easily be recognized as identical in this dream. The general negative reaction to and hostility against the Negro race is directed equally against both sexes. Male as well as female Negroes are to be kept out of the family, since in the unconscious they represent unwanted younger siblings. Here lies the cardinal difference from the second unconscious emotional motive for Negro hatred on the part of many white persons, which manifests itself in the Negro race riot and is directed against male Negroes only. The deeply emotional and unreasonable origin of this mass psychological phenomenon is obvious to anybody who is not forced by his own unconscious drives to participate in this mass psychological reaction. What is it? The cause. The race riots in Detroit in June 1943 provided an excellent opportunity for studying the unconscious motives of white patients in analysis. The findings were surprisingly consistent with some of Freud's theoretical ideas in connection with the primitive group and its development, which will therefore be presented in this discussion. The male Negro, as he appeared in dreams of white people, even before the race riots, often had to be recognized as representative of the dreamer's father, particularly the father at night or in his nocturnal activities. Many dreams of being threatened by a Negro were understood as the expression and repetition of the dreamer's infantile fears of his father, his own father. After having recognized this deep-seated equation of Negro with father, one is able to understand much better the emotional reactions during the race riots with regard to their unconscious significance. Our attitude in childhood toward our own father is neither exclusively positive nor exclusively negative, but is mixed and reveals components of love as well as hatred. Such feelings, composed of positive and negative attitudes and tendencies, are called ambivalent. Ambivalent. In the immature and infantile mind, they can easily remain and be expressed beside one another until the growing organization of the conscious personality does away with the emotional contradictions and ambivalence through repression of one component. As a rule, in the case of this emotional attitude toward the father, it is the negative one. It disappears from consciousness and can find expression only in disguised form and with substitute objects. If the positive relationship to the father gains the upper hand, which it does in most persons, the violence of the hatred against the Negro, the lack of justification for this hatred in many individuals who have never had unpleasant experiences with Negroes, and the mass psychological implications can be partially understood if we consider the unconscious origin of these emotions in the infantile hatred of the father. Psychologically, Negro race riots are violent outbreaks of infantile father hatred. Negro hatred has its origin in the South, where many white children were and are brought up by a Negro mammy, toward whom they often develop feelings like those towards a mother. Due to the development of the Oedipus complex, Oedipus, the Oedipus complex, the male Negro is then naturally brought into the position of the hated father. The South furnishes the classic example of the race riot in the form of lynching. The rebellious sons unite against the hated father substitute with the aim of killing and castrating him. The inhumanity, cruelty, and brutality with which they proceed reveals the origin of this conduct in the most primitive and barbaric layers of our minds, where it is otherwise buried in the unconscious and is brought forth under the mass psychological conditions of the riot. The fact that the Negro riot regularly breaks out through a rumor that a Negro has raped a white woman confirms our opinion about its patricidal origin. Almost without exception, the right is then the revenge for the alleged sexual assault upon a white woman by a Negro. We have mentioned that the original father hatred of the little boy in the Oedipal situation is the reaction to the sex relations between the parents, which the child considers as acts of violence on the part of the father against the mother. So they trying to say that's why the white kid hate their father, because they done seen them or heard them having sex, and he interpreted it as some type of violence. So he can't do these things, show his aggression and his anger at his father. So they see black people as the father that they want to maim and castrate. They see their father as the one that they want to maim and castrate, and they use the black man as the substitute. Is that how they trying to excuse this right here? So in other words, all of these white men right here that's grinning, laughing, smiling, they so happy and just pleased with themselves. All of these men did this. All of them hundreds of thousands of white men did these inhumane, unmentionable crimes because they hate their own father. Excuses. It seemed like another excuse to me. It just seemed like another excuse to me. So they still hate their father. Well, what is that saying? They still hate their father. So as long as they hate their father, this is going to happen. See, the white woman, you done failed. Your ass failed too. Yeah. Yeah, you failed everybody. Your sons, your brother, your daddy, your granddaddy, your cousins. Oh, my ancestors. All right, let's read. Oh, that was it, y'all. That was it. Yeah. The little boy's aggression against the fathers. Oh, let me back up before I get to that part right there. Which the child considers as acts of violence on the part of the father against the mother. But check this out. The little boy's aggression against the father's penis and his castrative tendencies are the expression and the result of his inferiority feelings concerning the smallness of his own penis. The smallness of his own penis. I know, right? The little boy's aggression against the father's penis and his castrative tendencies are the expression and result of his inferiority feelings concerning the smallness of his own penis. Hold on. The larger size of the Negro's penis and legends about it seem to play an equally important role in the unconscious emotional reactions leading to race riots. See, I don't believe that these race riots, these massacres, I don't believe that they were, what did it say here? I don't believe that these race riots were just, they just happened and they were unplanned or, and I don't believe that they happened as for an excuse of how they felt towards their fathers. Because, see, if that's the case, they ain't never got no healing how they feel about their fathers. So you trying to tell me today white men still have this mindset about their fathers, in which we know they'll never take it out on their fathers. They'll still enact that aggression on the black men who they used historically. They just said it right here. The substitute was always the black man. Because it said earlier that this part here is talking about the black man only. Before that, it included the black man and the woman. But right before we got to this right here, it said this study right here is talking about the black man only. I guess because the castration was of the black man. And the hatred that they felt towards their white daddy, they were able to release it on the black man and stuff. But that sounds like an excuse to me. The daddy was out there with their asses. So no, I don't even buy that. I don't buy that. It sounds plausible, but no, I don't. The larger size of the Negro's penis, and legends about it seem to play an equally important role in the unconscious emotional reactions leading to the race riot. How could the race riots be unconscious when they all knew? They all was on code every time, every massacre. They all was on cue. They moved together. When the military came in on a lot of the riots and the massacres, the mob would move another way like a swarm. The mob would divide and go around the troops, and they'll meet up somewhere else. Yep. That's how they were doing this stuff. So, it ain't like they were unconscious. They worked as a team. To me, it was a conscious mindset. It was like a swarm. You know how a bee swarm, or you see a swarm outside and stuff, and they move together. You might see some of the swarm venture off, But they all move together and then they'll all come back together again. So no, I don't think this was unconscious. They knew exactly what they were doing the entire time. See, white folks, in my opinion, white folks have had plenty of time to make every excuse possible and put it in this book so that when we did get to this book and reading and stuff, it's going to have us confused. Now, I still put my faith and my support with my ancestors. You know, I do. I don't think at any part in this era, this terror right here, they were the rioters. They were always the victim. They're still the victim. I don't know what these people that's telling our stories and then flip it around and make us the aggressor. Make the black man the aggressor. It was interesting to observe that among the most embittered white participants in the race riots in Detroit, they were adolescents, many of Southern origin. Their own sexual immaturity and insecurity made them particularly vicious in these patricidal impulses. The castrated tendency expresses itself either in a direct way during the process of lynching in the South, where not infrequently the genitals of the lynched Negro are cut off, or more often it finds symbolic expression. In the South, the victim of the riot is tarred and feathered, which means that he is turned into a bird and then killed. The bird is an ubiquitous penis symbol. The vulgar term cock, or the vulgar German term for intercourse, Vogel, Vogeln, which literally means to bird. In northern parts of the country, yeah, this is it right here. See? And then that right there, we just gonna finish this right here. I just want to know. Yeah. In northern parts of the country, in accordance with the higher degree of technical development and the higher standard of civilization, the aggression against the Negro's penis is expressed against a penis symbol detached from the victim, namely against an automobile like Joe Ruffin or the Carswell Grove, the riot when he was going to the celebration of the black troops. And the riot happened because, on his way there, they seen Samuel in the car with the sheriff deputy and the deputy being arrested. But Joe had vehicles. Joe had money. Joe had land. Joe Ruffin did. And white people were jealous of that. The white men was jealous of that. So when they had Samuel taking him back to jail and they passed Joe going to the celebration, and Samuel was like, oh, that's Joe Ruffin. He'll pay my bail, which was $75. And Joe noticed, he knew who the sheriff was and stuff, because, it was his town. He lived there and stuff. And he knew who Samuel was. So he stopped his car and went over to talk to them because he would have paid his bail, which was $75. But Joe said he didn't have $75 on him. He would have to go back and get it. But he asked them if they could just release Samuel to him because he was going to the celebration. And he'll bring them the money and stuff. But then I guess they must have got upset and pissed and mad because how dare this black man tell us that, yeah, he got the money, but he ain't got it on him. Then he tell us, or he ask us, well, can you just release him to me and I'll pay you the money later? Like he's so uppity up. So, yeah, the gun went off. I guess it was the sheriff or something. The gun went off and they killed the sheriff and they wounded Joe. And when white folks found out about it, the riot happened. They came. So, yeah, that was the automobile. Yeah. And the higher standard of living, the aggression against the Negro's penis is expressed against a penis symbol detached from the victim, namely against the automobile, which stands for the penis in numerous dreams and jokes. The burning automobiles of Negroes on Woodward Avenue during the race riots in Detroit were a ghastly picture of primitive aggression directed against symbolic substitutes at a time when automobiles were not produced due to wartime restrictions, and their loss were irreparable. Dreams related above, not included in this abridgment, make the psychological identity of group hunting and Negro race riots obvious. People who observed the race riots in Detroit from their downtown office windows above the streets where the riots occurred had the definite impression that the Negro was hunted. People who observed the race riots in Detroit from their downtown office windows above the streets where the riots occurred had the definite impression that the Negro was hunted. When he attempted to escape in one direction, he was met by a group of white people who chased him back to his first persecutors, or in another direction where he met a third group of hunters until he was cornered like an animal and knocked down. The way in which the prosecutors shouted at one another, such as, "There's one, get him," definitely reminded the spectators of hunting scenes. It corresponds to the hunting rituals and to this archaic origin that no Negro women were attacked and that only males were allowed to be the victims. Hunting and Negro riots, therefore, have the same unconscious origin and patricidal impulses. They both represent repetitions of father murder as it occurred among archaic tribes. The mass psychological phenomena of the race riots in Detroit are often described as characteristic of short-lived groups in Liban and Freud. The Detroit race riots showed all the earmarks of regression from individual to most primitive group psychology. Temporary and fleeting leadership was exercised by individuals. In the short-lived groups that were formed during the race riots in Detroit, it was noteworthy that they lacked strong leadership, which is otherwise so characteristic of group formations, even of a temporary kind. It may be that the innermost emotional motives for the group formation, namely collective father murder, influenced the structure and character of the groups. It was precisely this fleeting character that contributed to the nervousness and excitement in the city during the riots. Some pictures taken during the riots and reproduced in newspapers and magazines, Life magazine, July 5th, 1943, showed very clearly the man-hunting character of the riots, the intensity and viciousness of the aggression, and the satisfaction over the injury or the slaughter of the victim. Groups standing around a Negro lying on the ground, their faces still wild with aggressive excitement, can easily be taken as revivification of the sons of the primitive group standing around the primal father whom they had murdered. Yeah, it makes sense, but I don't believe it. It makes sense, but I do not believe it. That's another way to excuse the cannibalistic tendencies, of the white men. They hate their father so much that's why they actually substitute his ass for a whole innocent man that has nothing to do with him, that doesn't resonate with him, and they lynch him and castrate him and dismember him and drag him because they feel that way about their fathers. Prosperity. It's a good excuse, but I don't buy it. No, I don't. I do not buy it whatsoever. And that's why white America has never been held accountable by anyone. Yeah. And yeah, I'm tired. I'm sleeping tonight. So we finna go get us some, we finna go time travel. Yeah, just be sure you go by yourself so you come back by yourself. Peace and power to the people tonight. Thank you so much, Larry. And we'll finish tomorrow. We'll read some more tomorrow. We're almost done with this book. It's been a long time reading, but it's very necessary. I want to know what happened to my people who did it, how can we heal it? Because we need healing. That's it, and that's all, and we're going to get healing. And the rest of the world and stuff, they need to try to heal themselves, because we not. Yeah, they got to heal themselves, because we ain't. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night. Good night, Victor. Peace, everybody. I love y'all. Go get y'all some really good rest and stuff. Time travel. Yeah, just be sure and come back.